about yesterday got called away and couldn't get away. You know what I'm saying? Life can be a pain. You know, I think we're going to do? We're going to go ahead and move this. Let's change from Monday Night Raw, since we're not playing any ball games on Sundays. Let's go ahead and make it Sunday, Tuesday night, SmackDown. Niners fam could be returning next season with a few players short of the Super Bowl 2019 team, but the best of that unit will most likely be returning, is my estimation at this particular hour, to resurrect the legendary Revenge Tour. And I say that with no shame or hesitation. The number of injuries sustained by the club in 2020, it was just beyond overcoming. You just cannot have that many guys go down and still expect to compete, especially when most of them were your top line starters. 49ers currently have way too many players eligible for Comeback Player of the Year, though, including Nicky B, Jimmy G, and a host of others. So we'll be taking your phone calls tonight and looking for your take for who could be offensive and defensive comeback players of the year in San Francisco, along with everything. Niners! I tell you, man, I ain't getting such a rush talking about the 49ers, man. They're going to do it this year. I just know it, man. They don't go on those back. We're not going to get injured. We're not going to get hurt. All of them going to be out there. I can see it coming already. And some good news. Speaking of guys to be retained, good news regarding Juice today. Josina Anderson, and host of the Undefined with Josina Anderson show and podcast, reports that the Niners and Juice have had a few preliminary exchanges discussing a potential return. Yes! San Francisco is waiting to see how the fullback might fit into their budget. Josina's tweet reads, "My understanding is there's been a few preliminary exchanges with the 49ers and a pending free agent fullback, Kyle Juszczyk, on a deal for his potential return. As of Monday, the wait continued to ascertain how KJ fits into the team's budget relative to the 2021 cap, minimum of $118 million. On tweet. I mean, you know what? Josina is just full of good news for the 49ers the last 48 hours anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because, yesterday it was Nick. Nick had a brief conversation with Josina and provided an update on his recovery. Bosa told Josina via a phone conversation, quote, You'll see my progress on the field next season. Tell them I'm pissed off and I'm coming back." No, what Nick really said, tell them I'm going to be better. You know, Nick and Fred, boy, them boys, they're telling everybody, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Fred's already telling people, man, y'all stand by, man. You ain't seen nothing yet. So, you know, I'm loving this. Tell them I'm going to be better. Nick, and here's the thing. That is encouraging, ain't it? Now, you know, I know what you're thinking. Oh, man, people come back from an ACL, MCL, man, you better hope. No. Because, the only real update we've had on Bosa are those rehab vids posted by motor specialists, physical therapy on social media, right? Coach Shanahan said back in December that he was optimistic about Bosa's recovery. Of course, you took that with a grain of salt because it was way too soon to be saying that anyway, right? Coach told reporters, "I have every reason to believe Nick Bosa, the way he works, the way his body is made, he'll be the exact same guy next year." And by the way, this is what the Bosas do. This is not the first time this happened to Nick, and you would have never known it when he first started with us, right? Nick's torn things up before. The Bosas they're just a different breed of men. You know what I mean? They come back from injuries and they look like they're a little mad because they missed time. Unquote, by the way, on that. The surgeon who repaired the damage, Dr. Neil Eltrache, in the knees of both Bosa and teammate Solomon Thomas, who suffered an ACL injury 2 plays after Bosa, was also optimistic about both guys' progress. Dr. Eltrache told The Athletic earlier this month, quote, They weren't just straightforward isolated ACL injuries. When I read that, I freaked out. I said, what are you saying, man? He goes on to say these were bigger injuries, but they're both ahead of where ordinarily we expect them to be. And so they're both going through their initial stages of functional performance training. There you go. I have a feeling, guys, weight room guys are going to be the guys who are going to be able to get over and through these things a lot faster than, say, your wide receiver, or your cornerbacks, your other specialty tight. No, not tight ends. They're in the weight room guys too. So maybe this isn't so usual. We'll see. He goes on to say, so it's looking very promising for both of those guys. Unquote. A fan asked Josina, though, if a player has ever had a monster season coming off a serious knee injury. She pointed back to the future Hall of Fame running back who was named the league MVP a year after suffering a torn ACL and MCL, Adrian Peterson. Josina responded with, quote, so yes, Nick Bosa can absolutely do it. But much like Peterson, it will depend upon the quality of Bosa's rehab program and prayerfully staying healthy next season. He has the will. Unquote. Did you see Nick? How many times have you seen a guy bouncing a medicine ball? I saw that video. I had to laugh. I said, Nick, man, you're that dude that, a lot of us in the gym, you work out hard, do your thing, but you always go over at the freak over the other side of the room quietly, squatting like he's got 9 plates on each side of the bar, and he ain't even asking for no squat, no help, or no backup. He's just over there by himself quietly, usually reading a magazine or something like that, or looking at his phone. Between sets, drops back under, looks like he's not even concentrating. Everybody's sitting over there in horror like, damn, that's 1,000 motherfuckers. How much is that do? And he's doing it with reps. See that? Nick's one of them dudes, So I got a feeling whatever Nick says, you probably believe it. But with Jimmy, Jimmy's another story. He's the other guy I got coming today between Jimmy being in rehab. With Jimmy, everything you read about that dude is mean, nasty, and get him the hell up out of San Francisco, right? Grant Cohn is working out deals on a daily basis now how to get rid of Jimmy. Today I noticed he's sending Jimmy back to Boston for Stephon Gilmore. Grant, Stephon sucked last year, by the way. If you're gonna get something out of Boston, please not him. All right, he could come back and have a better year next year. I don't know. Stephon that was weird though. But here's the thing. I want to make clear on my position on this right now. This is why. So when the Niners are again locked up in NFC championship game, about to make another bid for which will be the second with JG under center. See, I don't want to be accused of Ronbo come lately. This is why I'm making it clear right now so I could be telling people as they go in the Super Bowl, told y'all, man, y'all wouldn't listen, man. You're coming up with all that other BS and talking about this and talking about that. Now look at you. How you like him now, boy? You see, this I already see it coming. As clear as day. I can see it coming. Jimmy, it's one thing about Jimmy ain't saying a word. That's where he is. He doesn't say anything. I know he's hearing everything that's being said about him. I bet that dude is training like a monster. I think he was going to have a good year last year if not for the injuries. But because that was going to be the second year. Now, with a little more time to digest even more, better receivers, guys he can trust out there, guys he'll probably believe in, I think Jimmy G is going to be a bad dude. I really do. You know what, y'all? You can also put GK on that LL list along with Mostert, Debo, Westberg, and Fred, maybe. I don't know what they're going to do with them, really. I guess we don't. Ronnie Blair, D Ford. You know what? I'm not going to go down through the whole list of guys we lost last year because it'd take me 2.5 hours, man, because we lost about everybody at least for a few minutes, man. But the question tonight is, who is your comeback player of the year? Man, I'm already putting Jimmy up there. I'm telling you, if the offensive line can keep them sudden slide like that, Last year with Quentin Williams, and I still don't understand. Jimmy does not get flags. Quentin Williams bounced his big butt through the line. I think that's why the offensive lineman let up. Play was over, Quentin. Joe big, stupid. Get up out of here, man. Slams down on G's ankle. I think G should have. But you know what, though? I do blame G for that. If you see that fool coming, just step to one side. You don't stand there and wait for him to get there. Get out the way. So, So anyway, who is your comeback player of the year? Hashtag bring Frankie home. All right. Hey, Poppy Pablo XXX. What's up? Hey, Bobby, what's up, man? I ain't seen you in a while. I think I saw you the other day, though. Jay Realistic, what up, Ronbo, Niner Empire? Niners! John B, fix your line and add a speedster to our wide. John B, you're feeling me, man. I want that dude that freaks the defense out. As soon as he walks out on the field, they're backing up. Look at, I'm telling you. All right, because see that is an element that can make a world of difference in your offensive play. Fix the O-line and add a speedster to our wide receiver core. Jimmy G will have a big year. Resign K1, Verrett, and draft either Farley, Surtain, or Horn. Add a safety to keep our secondary strong. I know, right? Man, I still know. Hey, let me get my ears on, and here he is, down around Bama way. For the Rod, get on in here, man.
What it do, Ronbo?
Rod, man, I'm looking around at that list of that mass unit we had waiting on all them dudes on the side. You know what? One offensively, one defensively could be comeback player of the year. Rod, I know you trying to get rid of Jimmy. It's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people do. But should he stay? Is he eligible? Is Nicky B eligible? Is GK, Mostert, Debo? Who you got?
Man, Ronbo, I'll tell you, bro, like this. I don't want to. I mean, in the beginning, I was with Jimmy Garoppolo. And I mean, the truth be told, I'm not one of those type of fans that turns his back on his team. But to be honest, the fact that the coach pretty much showed through his play calling that there was no confidence in this quarterback. How can I have confidence in the quarterback? I mean, I'm a lover of football. I'm not just a lover of us winning. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Jimmy Garoppolo definitely had.
Let me just ask you a question. I just have a question right at that point before you go further, because you can answer it and then keep going. What if Jimmy G had D-Hop on his team? What if he had even Stephon Diggs? Do you realize last year we thought Josh Allen was trash? Most people did, right? You get him in there, a premier wide receiver, and all of a sudden Josh Allen is magic. I still think that's a two-way street. You can have Tom Brady, year before last, was hella mad all the time because his receivers weren't gaining separation out there. They weren't being, they weren't doing a lot of things that your quarterback needs them to do. So Brady made it clear as what's going on. Jimmy will never throw any of his guys under the bus. But do you think for 1 minute, if Jimmy had some solid receivers like he had Emmanuel Sanders and all of a sudden his game went to a next level, do you really believe that if Jimmy G, with matured, and I figured Debo and both Ayuk are going to look a lot better next year, do you really believe that Jimmy would have as many problems with at least not even a top receiver, but a front-line receiver? Do you really believe that?
I honestly do. And I mean, I tell you why, Ronbo.
Please.
I mean, it's like I said before, only thing I can go by is what he's shown me. And what he's shown me is flashy. He does have the ability to be something great, but I think that he's one of those quarterbacks that sometimes allows the moment to overtake him. And I mean, let's just be honest as 49er fans. The only real reason we fell in love with this dude in the first place is because Bill Belichick chose him, and Bill Belichick was the one who raised him in the beginning. So, I mean, we figured that he could bring some of that to the organization in Santa Clara, which he did that first year.
That's what I was
He
going to
brought
ask you
some
about. You
enthusiasm
didn't
to
see
the.
any talent display in 2017?
I saw a guy that his team, the team embraced. The team loved him. I can't take nothing from that, man. But I
No
mean,
stats or anything like that.
it's,
You didn't notice any of those, huh?
I just feel like once again, Ronbo, I was for the guy, and I mean, I don't want to turn my back on him, but I just, as far as his
All right.
ability goes, the head coach. I mean, the head coach is pretty much showing you what he thinks of him. I mean, let's be realistic. Jimmy Garoppolo hasn't really thrown the ball down the field much,
But why?
and when
But
he
why?
has,
He should have got rid of him last year, though, shouldn't he? Why wait Why wait all the
I
way for
agree.
this length of time? I mean,
I
I'm not.
agree.
That's not
But I mean,
not my feeling. I'm just saying from what you just said. If Karen doesn't have any faith in him, doesn't trust him, waters down his game mainly because of him, which I really emphatically disagree with. But if that was the case, why not go ahead and get Brady last year? He wanted to come here.
man, that's a good question, bro. That's a good question. I wish I had an answer for you, but I just don't get it. I mean, I like a lot of the guys in the fan base felt like, okay, Brady was getting to an age where he probably should be hanging them up. But I mean, to be honestly, just like I don't even think the criticism of Cam Newton is really fair because he's playing with that same garbage talent on offense that Brady was playing with. So, I mean,
Well, there you go.
outside the running
That's
game,
exactly what I'm
yeah.
talking about right there. You cannot work.
And I
It's just
mean,
like I said about Robert Saleh. You cannot work with no tools. If I got one receiver out there I can work with, I got George Kittle, I got one guy, what am I going to do?
hey,
What am I going to do?
Rumbo, it's like I told you on the on Twitter a couple of days ago, and I know it sounds silly, but I mean, I'm just gonna say it. I mean, I'm not the type that can't take criticism. I mean, you got the guys that don't like it or think it's crazy. Hey, say what you see. But I mean, the 49ers have never, our culture, our history says we have never won a Super Bowl without having a future Hall of Fame quarterback as the starter.
Hey,
We've never won one. That's our culture.
Jerry Rice is a Hall of
Okay,
Famer. Yeah. Okay, Rod. You know what?
but
Because we're gonna run out of time. You know what? You didn't sell the. Who's your comeback player of the year? Take Jimmy out of the equation. Who you got? Real quick.
I'm gonna have to say the comeback player of the year is going to be Raheem Mostert.
Oh, I like that. Yes, because he was on the list too. All right.
Absolutely.
All right, Rod. Let's continue this.
And I don't even have to mention who I think going to be defensive player of the year. I mean, comeback player of the year. Come on.
Hey, I know, right?
Nick's
Nick's got that. He's got that wrapped up. All right, Rod.
Yeah.
All right, fam.
All right, man.
Appreciate it.
It's
All right,
been good, Rumble.
you know
We'll
what?
catch you
I
next
think
one.
unless the bust out, now's that time of year, but I may come back anytime. Something bust out tomorrow, I'll be back tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll see you Friday. You all right?
We'll look up. We'll catch you, bro.
All right, and I see you on Twitter. All right, fam. And
All right. Give me that exit, baby.
and you know what I'm going to do. Niners! Ride. You roll tide. Hey, Rod.
Shout out Ron Bizzle. Shout out to the Empire.
All right, fam. And there he is. We got James up in here tonight. James, come on in, man.
What's up, Ronbo? How you doing, huh?
James, man, I'm just waiting for the days to go by, man. I can't wait till draft night, because as soon as draft night gets, it's all downhill from there. Sliding right back into spring, and it's time to start training. COVID is getting its butt kicked. Look like we're going to have butts in the seat soon. It's going to be a good 2021. And not only that, my boy Jimmy's going to kick some butt next year, get the naysayers up off of him. But James, that is the question tonight. Who's going to be your offensive and defensive player of the year? We got many to choose from with as many guys as we had on the list last year of bodies that came before. Oh, God.
First and foremost, Ronbo, thank you and your staff for all that you do.
Thanks, James.
Platform you provide for us, for the Niner Empire. And I'll say this much. I listen to you when I'm not even on here. So other things I'm doing, my grandchild and stuff like that. Some nights it'd be a little too late for me.
No, that's
but,
going to be fun.
I thank you. But I've heard so many callers say that, Kyle didn't trust Jimmy, and you see he didn't let him throw the ball in games and stuff like that. But I think we ought to have a different perspective and put yourself possibly in a coach's position, and you come out in the game and say you throw the ball a time or two, and then the opposing defense, they start playing prevent because they got a feeling you're going to keep dialing up that deep ball. And the point I'm trying to make in this statement is simple. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If they can't stop your run, do you really need to pass the ball? Hello? If they can't stop your running game, do you really need to pass the ball? Okay?
Hell no.
If you're winning with your running game, do you need to pass the football? Okay? Because in those games, that's exactly what was happening. Now, another thing. I hear everybody seems to have this great emphatic like for somebody like Alex Mack, and we need to get him. The question is, you should ask yourselves, why are the Falcons letting him walk? Don't they need a center? Don't they have a quarterback?
That's true.
Okay? He's called 35 years old, and injuries are starting to mount up. Okay, so would you have that want to come to our team, and then all of a sudden you start yelling and crying and saying, oh, they had a chance to get this guy. Look what he did. He went to a team and they got this far. We was right there. We should have drafted him. Doesn't always work like that.
Good point.
Okay, these people are people. They're not perfect. They're not like what you see on your Madden game with your M&M, Madden, and marijuana. No, it's not like that. Okay, this is reality. Okay, and another thing, I'll tell you this much: when it comes to this year's draft, you know who I'd like to see him get? Believe it or not, being that we have Nick Bosa coming off an injury, Solomon Thomas, he can go, and probably going to lose DJ Jones. Why not go get that nose tackle from Alabama? What's his name? Christian Barmore. You watch the tape on him?
No, I'm not.
Have you
I'm not been checking out the interior thuds.
Listen, game record, hands down. Christian Barmore, I think he's 6'5", 315, I believe it is. Has got a motor off of the chain and can play. Now, in free agency, if it were me, he's an interior lineman for Alabama.
Offensive lineman are going to hate this dude.
I think his name.
We might lose DJ Jones, too. You know what?
That's what I'm talking about. And I can say this much. Don't be surprised. Keep your eyes on that safety we got that came over from the Patriots, Obi Melifonwo. He's 6'4". Okay. This kid ran a 4.46 in the 40, man. Yeah.
He's an Olympian. Now, the dude is crazy athletic.
And he had a 44-inch vertical, okay?
I saw that.
And in the broad jump, he was over 11 foot something in the broad jump. So this is a very talented freak of nature type of player. And if we go after anybody in free agency, you know who I think will be a perfect fit? This is what I think.
Who?
Why not try to pull the plug and go after Cordell Patterson from the Bears, okay? Bring him over to whereas I don't know if he's on the Bears or the Raiders right now.
Yes, is that where
the Raiders draft?
Is that where he is? Because I haven't heard about his name since they threw him out. You're talking about the guy in Washington, right? Or was in Washington?
I'm not sure if he was in Washington. Cordell Patterson was simply he wasn't he was like a receiver that they used in a role similar to what we do with Debo.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, if we were to sign him with him and Debo both healthy, and then Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert, the running game is going to kill you all day long. It's going to kill defenses. Second half of the game, you could have Ray Charles if he was still alive out there, even though he couldn't see throwing the ball because the defense ain't going to be able to cover nobody. That's
where people make a mistake. They think Shanahan bases his offense on the run game. People think it doesn't like Jimmy. Oh God! Okay. Hey James, we ran out of time though. But go ahead, finish that
Yeah,
thought
Ronbo.
because we got to go.
All right, man. You know, you're going to have injuries in football. That's just the luck of the draw sometimes, but you got to keep on. And even through all our injuries, we were still in games, okay? And another caller said something about, oh, we should keep Nick and get rid of Jimmy. Well, guess what? Nick has had me believing in him in every game up until about the third quarter.
All right.
That's all I'm going to say, Ronbo.
Okay.
God bless you.
All right, thanks, fam. James, I see it. Hope to
Nine
get in here
Red
earlier so I
Fire,
can get you in here because I know how late it is out there.
Be blessed,
All right,
wear
fam.
your mask, try to still stay safe. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for your time.
Too, James. Great to hear from you, too. All right, fam.
Yeah, man. Same here. Bye-bye.
Bye. Listen, hey, John.
Ronbo.
John, tonight we look upon the walking wounded. It's like one of those movies where combat veterans are laying all over the field. And they're hollering, medic, medic! And John, it's a fresh new start. We're going to have new bodies out there ready to roll. Who's going to be your comeback player of the year on offense and defense? Or if you thought about that at all?
Not really. I've not thought of that at all because, personally, if Jimmy Garoppolo, just saying, because, this idea of Jimmy Garoppolo is garbage is starting to drive me nuts. And one thing about, even the fans, and then, of course, I do pay attention to the chat, and there are a lot of people that says Dak Prescott wants to be paid the same amount of money as Patrick Mahomes. He doesn't deserve
just a
it.
little
So
less.
that's
He
not
wants
gonna happen.
40, 10 mil less. But still, that's too much for Dak. What is he? Dak is, he's not a $40 million man.
Anyway, so that's a different conversation. But for me, if Jimmy Garoppolo is on the field and, there are people who I listen to, about Jimmy Garoppolo. And if that guy stays on the field, the guy's going to win football games. Do I feel
90% of the time.
Do I ever feel that he's going to be Tom Brady? No. Or any other great quarterback of this era? Not really. But I would rather have a quarterback who basically uses the weapons that he has around him to win games. Because football, there's a reason why there's 52, 53 players on a roster. The quarterback does not play every position. The quarterback, his job is to throw the ball to open receivers. And once the receivers catch the ball, they have to do their job. George Kittle, a tight end, he's not a receiver, but he's become a dangerous weapon. Bringing up my good friend, who I don't see him no more, Patrick Mahomes, talking about Travis Kelce is better than George Kittle. I'm sorry. George Kittle does it all. He does it all. So for me, when you have great players on, and, Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch has developed great players on the offensive side. And yes, Jimmy Garoppolo, if he was healthy in 2018, what could that season have been? I know it would have been 12-4, but we would not have Bosa. So it's a double-edged sword. And then what if Jimmy Garoppolo was healthy this year? So we don't know what these 4 years could have been. And when you saw this team play in these 4 years, it was ugly, but it's been fun. You've seen the talent that's been playing on this team. And for me, now we have another free agency, we're going to lose players. Last offseason, we lost some players. We did not have, a lot of draft picks, but we did, strike gold with Ayuk. No one knew who he was. And now we're entering a situation where the 49ers probably are going to do much better in free agency than any other team. So if Jimmy Garoppolo stays healthy, he won't be a comeback player of the year. If Nick Bosa surprises me like he's been doing every year since he's been drafted, and has a good year, I think he can be the comeback player of the year. And I hope that these people who are still like downgrading this team, and I'm saying even those on the chat and those who are trying to downgrade this team, have faith in this team. Because if you want to start all over again, we need to get Deshaun Watson and trade everybody away. If Deshaun Watson comes over here, just for an example, he's not going to have no one to help him win the games, and then we'll be 4-12 like the Texans. So people, please try to realize that it's a big bounty to get a star elite quarterback, but who is he going to have around him? That's the question.
And in the future, that they're asking for picks. So this is why I say, the team was injured, not depleted of talent. Injured. There's a difference. You bring those guys back, and they will kick ass. You don't win without your players. No, wait. Well, we're in rebuild. Okay, let me just block you because I get tired of you talking. Okay, this is the kind of thing I look at. I try to, I humor it. That's why I go after people like that, just to have fun.
And then I want to remind all the Cardinal fans and the Rams fans and the Seahawks fans, Russell Wilson may or may not be with that team next year. Who's going to be the quarterback if he does leave? Matthew Stafford, yeah, he's healthy. He plays hurt, but realistically, are the Rams a Super Bowl team? No. And then the Cardinals, their coach could be fired at the end of the year. I have faith that the best team in this division is the 49ers. That's what I want to say to those Rams, Seahawks, and Cardinals fans. We are the best team in this division. We were the best 6-10 team in the NFL.
I had no argument here. You know what, John, because the thing is, they would not have mattered last year. The 49ers would have steamrolled the division last year if they all stayed up. Really easily. The team it was unfair almost, the 49ers' edge on everybody else. Jimmy G and all. It was going to be ridiculous. So, we saw in the beginning, you seen him busting touchdowns from the line of scrimmage 2 weeks in a row. I said, shit. We're not even getting started here yet, are we? Oh, man, we barely got Jordan Reed involved. George Kittle went down. It was just a really strange year. Oh, God, I hope I don't want to see it again. But, yeah, I like this team.
Yeah, and then one last thing. If we're going to say we got to trade Jimmy Garoppolo, George Kittle in the last two years has missed 10 games. So we should trade him too. So if you're going to go with that argument, just name all the players who were injured in the last couple of years. Just be really careful what you wish for if you do want to trade players
on that basis.
Because, Tom Brady, even though I don't like him, he suffered the same injury that Jimmy Garoppolo. He still won a bunch more Super Bowls after that. So, if a player gets hurt, it's going to happen. But if a player gets hurt 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row, then that's a different story. Yeah. Jimmy Garoppolo, when he's been in there, and even though I have to swallow my pride and say I have to give Jimmy Garoppolo some credit, even though I don't like the dude.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you can continue to make a point. Okay. No, I know. A lot of people don't. Everybody's mind will be changing soon. I have extreme confidence in that. But, John, we're going to go. Let's see you Friday, right?
All right. I'll see you Friday, and just like always, Niners.
All right, fam.
Just like your buddy Norm, all day.
Have a good night, John. Let's go check out. All right, fam. Let's go check out Tony.
Aloha, Ronbo. How are you, sir?
Oh, it's Tony. We got 3 Tonys. I always never, unless I see your face on the screen. Tony, we got one in Australia. We got one in South Bay. And then there's Tony from the land of blue waters. Oh, there he is. Now I see you.
There I am.
Tony.
Yeah, Tony has done it again, Ronbo.
Somebody said Tony. We got the connection. Tony, man, you know the subject matter tonight. I'm looking at my comeback player of the year, and I just put Nick and Jimmy up on the cover just for the fact that they were one of the many. But Tony, your feeling on this subject matter tonight?
Well, okay, so if we're talking offensive and defensive
You
comeback
might as well
players
just
of the year
get
for
to
the
add
San
more players
Francisco
that way.
49ers. Yeah. Number one, so let's start with the obvious one. It's going to have to be Nick Bosa. I mean, he is the stud defensive lineman. He is the spark that is going to take the defense back to greatness next year. Last year, the defense was good, but without that Leo edge rusher position that Jimmy G sacrificed his ankle for in 2018, that defense was not the same. Saleh coached them up well. They were a top 10 unit, but they were just not as dominant as they could have been. So it's going to have to be Nick Bosa next year. And if it's not Nick Bosa next year, the 49ers got some major problems. Now, on the offensive side, people are going to want to say it's going to be Jimmy G, but I'm really hoping,
many,
and this is
though.
a fingers crossed. Yeah, this is well, I'll bet you if you were to poll everybody out there who's a 49ers fan that Jimmy G would be supported by more people than not out there. Just because of the nature
I've noticed those polls. That's true.
Yeah, it's a vocal minority, a growing minority, but a vocal minority of people
and loud and
who are
obnoxious,
not fond of Jimmy G. Yeah. Well, and everyone got a YouTube channel and a blog and a podcast. You know what I mean? So people getting their points out there all the ways that the founders of this country intended them to, and God bless them all. But if you're asking me about who is going to be the offensive comeback player of the year, I'm hoping it's going to be Jalen Hurd. I really want to see this guy play. Who knows, though, at this point? But, because he's that offensive weapon, that F position. He was the one that we drafted instead. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't we take Jalen Hurd instead of pursuing DK Metcalf in that draft? And I really want to. He's a big body. He's used to be able to run the ball. And that one touchdown pass that he caught in the preseason, he looked like he could have a great season. And Peter King said he might have been the rookie of the year if he had actually made it to the field that season and not broken his back. But who the heck knows? I'm hoping it's going to be Jalen Hurd.
God, that would be awesome, because that means the 49ers are doing awesome, because now you got a third yak master, all right? Because Jalen Hurd dragged guys into the end zone, and that play you're talking about was hilarious. Those guys had no chance. Jalen's coming in, and there's nothing you can do about it. I said, oh, look at what we got here.
If he can get healthy, and here's the thing, Ronbo. So you're looking at the weapons that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch have acquired since coming to the team. Debo and Kittle and Ayuk and Mostert and Jeff Wilson Jr. and JaMychal Hasty. If Jalen Hurd comes back, what we got to do is improve that offensive line so whomever is throwing the passes has the time that they need in order to be able to execute. But those weapons are sharp. They're ready to go. And if anything, this is the season that the offense ought to take that step forward. And I don't care if you love Jimmy or if you hate Jimmy. He is an excellent game manager. So if you have that style of quarterback out there who knows Kyle's offense, I don't see how, so long as the offensive line isn't the problem, how that team isn't going to be a very, very good offense, just with health. And given that those weapons that Kyle has, I really want to see it. I wanted to see it this year, but it just didn't happen. The injuries got to us,
I think we would have, though. Because Debo has gotten to the point now he can get open. I noticed that. A few times you've seen Debo, he quickly gets open. The essence of Kyle Shanahan's offense is for that QB to get rid of the ball quick. That's the whole thing. And if he does that, now your playmakers can do damage, and the defense is on its heels no matter what they're doing. That's what I thought was going to happen toward the end of the year when Ayuk was looking like he's, we got something here, don't we? That's a compliment to Debo. We're ready.
No, totally. Well, and with Jimmy's quick release too, remember he did not have an off season to fully get in the groove with all the rest of the offense, and so we saw that quick release early before he got hurt a little bit. Honestly, that Arizona game was lost on a block punt more than anything else. So a few plays go differently, and the narrative is completely different for us. But watching a lot of Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard play, the ball was just coming out like a split second too late or without enough oomph on that ball. And I mean, really, if you're hitting Brandon Ayuk in stride the way that I think Jimmy can, it would have been a very different season. Brandon Ayuk probably would have set the rookie record for the 49ers, beating Jerry Rice last year with just a slightly improved quarterback play. And we had our backups in all last year. So, I mean, again, it's a lot of ifs, and we need a lot of health. And I'm so excited for the season to start in however many 9-10 months. I don't even know how long it is. It's a long time.
It seems like forever.
But I tell you, yeah. anyway, that's what I got today, Ronbo. So
Well, and it was
appreciate
good,
you, brother.
too.
Thanks for having me on.
Jesus Christ, it was, I like it. Jalen Hurd. I mean, forget because the list is so long. I forget about who was on the IR last year. Jalen Hurd is a perfect candidate, and if he does get played, you can forget about it. You got too much going on out there, and that would be just overwhelming. Debo, Ayuk, George, and now you add 6'5" Jalen Hurd hammering. And you know what? Kyle's going to have him in before teams can actually switch up. And that was going to be the essence of the whole weaponry. So get them off guard because now they couldn't make changes. All right, Tony.
All right, take care of yourself, Ronbo. Aloha.
All right, fam. See you Friday. All right. Oh, God. And hey, Lee.
Hey, what's up, Ronbo?
Lee, hey, come on in, Lee. You know the subject matter tonight. It's hilarious, man. I'm looking at because you got a long list of guys to choose from between who's going to be comeback player of the year, offense or defense. You can pick either category. What are you thinking, Lee?
Yeah, I think I told you like a while ago. I really wanted to bring Trent Williams back. I think, and I've heard other people say, they're not too worried if he goes, but I feel like it's our weakest area on our team is our pass protection. And being such an important position, left tackle for Jimmy, it looks like we're going to go with Jimmy, which we're saying from the beginning, Ronbo. You got to give him time. You got to give him as much protection as we can, And not only does he help the passing game with Jimmy coming back, but he also is great in the run game. And for our offense to be clicking, I think we need him in the team. I know people are thinking about money and how we're going to bring all these players back, and he might cost a lot. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to keep him because of the when he gets to free agency, there's probably going to be teams like the Jets, the Colts, who need a left tackle that'll probably be putting up big money and putting pressure on us. So I hope we can bring him back. I heard a good scenario the other day. Someone said it on, I was listening to something, and they said to get rid of Arik Armstead. People were talking about getting rid of Bosa, Kittle, Warner, which I don't like because they're, such key players and they're young. And they're big parts of our team. But a guy like Arik Armstead, I'd be happy with, Ronbo, because he had 3 sacks last year, That's the same production as a guy like DJ Jones. And Armstead's not the same guy. Like, that's why a lot of fans were annoyed, because we let Defo go and we let this other guy who benefited off Defo in that line, Ronbo. And paying him, like people said, we can't pay Defo $20 million. Well, sorry, people, but we're paying Arik Armstead. After this year, he's going up to like $20 million a year. And we're going to be paying him more than what the Colts are paying for Defo.
Wait,
so the guy
how did that
getting
happen?
3 sacks,
I thought
that's the guy we should be looking to try and trade.
Did Buck get all his money up front? How does he get? He's supposed to be $22 million a year.
Yeah, well, Defo got paid. Now he got paid front loaded, whereas Armstead got paid back loaded. So why they did that was because they thought, okay, we can try and get back to the Super Bowl this year. So let's back pay Armstead. So we don't have to give him too much now. But in the future, in the long run, we're going to be paying him more than what the Colts are paying Defo. And
then they probably figured they could absorb that a little better later.
I guess we thought we were going back to the Super Bowl, getting close to it, Ronbo. So they're trying to be good now, and retain as much as they could of the squad to roll over and try and make another run for it. And that's what I feel like. I feel like with Jimmy, guys like that, Warner, Bosa still on their rookie contracts. The window is like in the next 2 years. And if we're going to be competitive in these next 2 years and push for these playoffs and try and win a Super Bowl, we need guys like Trent Williams, okay? Guys like Armstead we can easily replace. Like, he's going to think if we trade him, Ronbo, you probably get a third-round pick for him, and that's great value too, because with that third round, we can get someone in his position to replace him. And then we got Kendall developing. So we can also draft an edge if D4's not going to be healthy. And it just frees up a bit of money. It frees up just under $8 million if we trade him. Plus the year after that one, but I think it goes to like 15 and 16 million the years after that. So that's a lot of cap room, and that's money we can use on Warner, we can use on Bosa.
Which is, because Nick's going to get paid a lot after next year, most likely, too. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Well, you know what? They got a 5th-year option on Nick. I don't think they want to wait till that time, though. So at the end of the year 4 is definitely going to have to be a Nick signing. That's next year. Yeah. This is year 3
Exactly.
coming
So
up.
if you can free up that kind of money for Armstead, Ronbo, it makes a lot of sense, and it gives a little bit of leeway now to help out some of our players and re-sign the ones that we need going forward. I know people want some guys in the free agency, like a lot of us sort of want like a guy like Alex Mack to shore up the O-line too in the middle because he'll be a center, he'll be probably captain on that line. We just need to it's going to be real creative how they use the money and who they re-sign. It's going to be really interesting with free agency, Ronbo.
Especially
And
with
I can't
trades you're
wait to see
talking
what
about.
happens.
The 49ers could do some
Exactly.
fun stuff in a couple of weeks. You never know.
And then looking towards the draft, Ronbo, like I'm still sort of looking at the corner. I think the best way would go would be get a corner. Then we don't have to pay guys like Verrett we may bring back, but he's still going to cost a little bit of money.
Yeah, he
and
is.
we don't have a lot of money. So maybe if we get Mosley and we get maybe guys like Spoon, if they're the cheaper options, or K1 if they're cheaper, depending how much we have to pay for these guys, I'd really probably like to go with the corner in the first round. I know some people want Slater, but I just feel like if Surtain or Farley are there, that's great value. Like a lockdown corner with guys that we're going to have to go up against, like Hopkins, and Cardinals twice a year, DK Metcalf, guys like that. And then if we get through the playoffs, we're going to be messing with teams like the Buccaneers, but they've got, elite receivers all over the field.
God.
So if we've got to match up well, we've got to have the weapons to go against these guys.
You're going to need defense on it. That team, like you're saying, that's what I said when people, Tom Brady is the GOAT and this and that. What if we could have got him? Hey, Brady wasn't bringing all that firepower to San Francisco. There was not a weak link on that offense. Not a one. God, that was a stacked. I've never seen a team that stacked. Not even the 49 teams had that much of the dynasty. They didn't have every position loaded with a Pro Bowler. That was amazing. So, that's fine.
Yeah.
I like your
They had
deals.
so much talent, bro.
It's ridiculous.
Across the board, offense and defense.
But Lee, we're going to go. Hey, let me see you Friday, okay?
Thanks, Ronbo. Shout out to the 90 Empire. Shout out to all the callers that call in tonight. Shout out to the guys in the chat. Thank you, Ronbo.
Thanks, Lee. Talk to you later. Oh, it's Dollar Bill. Will. Wait. Here he is. Will, come on in, man. I haven't seen you in a long time.
What up, man?
Will, man, looking up and down the lineup of the injuries. We got like a whole lot of guys. I forgot all about Jalen Hurts, but we got a whole lot of guys eligible to be comeback player of the year next year. Will, I know you may have some other things you want to say, but what do you think? Who's your comeback player of the year, offense and defense? Just give you more than one choice.
Defense, you already know, is Nicky
no.
B. Nick Bosa. This upcoming season is gonna be his revenge tour. You know what I'm saying? And offense is gonna be mostly because it's damn sure ain't gonna be Jimmy G. Jimmy G is coming. Jimmy G is coming back. Well, he's gonna be coming back to New England. That's where he's gonna be going. Because
there you go.
I don't see. You know how I stand on the Ronbo.
No, I know you made that clear.
Because people tend to forget the cap is up at 180. And we don't know if it's gonna go up or it's gonna go back down. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You got a quarterback, man, that's wearing the red and gold, and he has $27 million contract.
Yeah.
And do you know if we don't restructure his contract or do not let him go, you can say bye-bye to Trent. You can say bye-bye to Verrett. You can say bye-bye to Juice. This man is in the way of retooling this team. He really is, man. And you got look, it's out there. Jimmy hears the noise. The volume of complaints is too high for him not to hear it. He may not hear all of
true.
it, but he hears some of it. And it is what it is. Now, again, I'm not saying he's a scrub. I'm not saying he's sorry. I'm not saying he's trash. But he's a limited one read quarterback. He doesn't bear Coach Shanahan out of nothing with his gameplay. And on top of that, this man been here since 2017, and he's gonna play one full season, and it's down 2021. Like, I never heard of a team. Now I'm a sports fan. I've been watching sports since I was a kid. I ain't never seen an NFL team keep a player for this amount of years when a player has only played one full season after being on that team for a certain amount of years, only played one full season, and you keep him for another season? That's rolling the dice. I've never heard an NFL team do that. So if y'all think this is the norm, if y'all think this is something new, then something wrong with y'all. Ain't no team keeping no quarterback that's been on the team for 4 years only played one full season. It's not normal. It's not. So, I ain't been on here wrong for I don't know how long, and I'm still hearing the same excuses. Oh, he wins. He wins football games. He's 24 and 8. He's 25 and 8. But I tell you something, Ronbo. Availability is better than a 25 and 8 record.
Well, yeah.
And I stand on it.
Well, if you're winning games, I'd agree with that.
If he's not on the field, how he's gonna win 26 games? How he's gonna win 27? How he's gonna win 28? How he's gonna win 29? How he's gonna be 30 and 8 if he can't stay on the field? I tell you something, Ronbo. Now, if this man stay on his team and his gameplay doesn't go up a notch or gets hurt again, there's gonna be a scapegoat in that organization. and I'm feeling for John Lynch. Now they already promoted Adam Peters to assistant general manager. Now if Jimmy G stays on his team and doesn't perform and gets hurt, John Lynch is out the door, and Adam Peters gonna get that GM job. Now, me personally, I'm thinking that John Lynch is gonna get promoted up, and they trying to keep Adam Peters. That's why they gave him that assistant GM job, because obviously they're gonna give him some more money, and so they can keep him, so other teams won't be trying to interview him. So they boost up his status a little bit. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you something, Ronbo, if this guy is on this team and doesn't perform or gets hurt, John Lynch out of here.
Well, you know what I like about this though, Will? You were very emphatic about getting rid of Robert Saleh. You were the guy who was tearing down Jimmy Ward's the Jimmy Ward Club bus. So the more you get into it like this, the more confident I feel that Jimmy G is about to win the Super Bowl.
Well, no. He's not putting words in my mouth.
You didn't like Robert Saleh? You wanted him fired.
No, I talked about Jimmy Ward, but I said Saleh never had the pieces around him.
Really?
I
could have sworn you were one of the guys that didn't like Saleh.
I said Saleh never had the pieces around him. Because what can you do with Cassius Martin, Dakota Watson?
You never said after that first year Saleh's got to go? You never said that?
No, I never said that. I said Jimmy Ward has to go.
I remember that. But I remember Saleh, too. I was trying to tell everybody the same thing. I said, you know what? Saleh needs some people to work with. And the same thing I'm saying about Jimmy G.
Like Dakota Watson. I said when you got Dakota Watson and Cassius Marsh on the defense coming on the edge, your defense not going to perform.
All right.
But when you get pieces, that's all Saleh needed was pieces.
Right.
And back in 2019, what happened?
You preaching to the choir now. You knew I knew. Okay. All right. Well, good to hear from you again, though. We got to roll. And I'll see you at the Super Bowl with my boy Jimmy. Jimmy Will. All right, fam.
The writing on the wall, Jimmy. I mean, Ronbo, writing on the wall. That man ain't. It is what it is.
I know.
But if he do stay though, he need a restructure. We need some of that money because if they don't, then Juice, Trent, and Varela ain't coming back, and we ain't gonna have no money to retool the team. And then what?
Well, we got to go. You made that clear earlier. All right, but then, I'm gonna tell you, I will see you Friday. Hopefully, you get back in here, and pretty soon we're gonna get this straightened out. All right,
man. Shout out to you, Ronbo, man. Shout out to the TNT fam, man.
Thanks, man.
Trey, all them guys, man. Shout out to the Ronbo Sports Fan Club. Super Bowl 56. It will be the San Francisco 49ers versus to be announced. All right, Ronbo.
All right. Well, night, fam.
All right.
And let's go roll over there. Rebel Nieces, was Jimmy the only person hurt last year? I know. Boy, Jimmy, that boy be getting some heat. Hey, Dion.
Ronbo, what's going on, brother?
D, man, I looked up and down. I always look for these things that, because it's that time of year, right? So I'm looking up and down the roster, looking at all the walking wounded the 49ers got. I said, we got a lot of guys eligible for comeback player of the year. I wonder which one. And I forgot all about Jalen Hurd. Tony Briggs said, oh my God, the missing man for years who can't get out of preseason. And he is a candidate, huge candidate, because he ain't got nothing to. Jalen's never been seen more than that preseason, right? So if Jalen comes in and has a blockbuster year next year, he wins it over everybody. So players like that, I put Nick and Jimmy down just because they didn't play much last year. So, but D, where you at on this subject?
First of all, Ronbo, I want to say sorry, man. I've been a little MIA here from the show.
No, I knew it was.
Still watching and whatnot, man.
Right.
Still watching and whatnot, making sure everything gets good. But when it comes to this, I have to go with Nick Bosa.
Easily.
Just based on the fact that, he's going to want to come back, bigger and badder than ever. Because you can honestly put Nick and Jimmy in the same boat. They both only played one full season for us.
Yeah.
So,
And
I
Mostert,
mean,
Debo, and they
I wouldn't really count them as comeback
yet.
players because I wouldn't count them as comeback players because they did play. The thing is like a comeback player usually.
Debo only played 2 or 3 games, though, right?
I think he played like at least four. I think he played 4 or 5. But I think
that's too small. That's a sample that he might be able to still get it.
Yeah, but for me, I think what happens next year is we figure out what happens with Jimmy, which I'm pretty sure he's going to wind up being the quarterback. The thing is trying to have everybody healthy through the season is our main focus. And then again, not going after injured players. So for me, I would say Nick Bosa. I ain't sold on Jalen Hurd until I see him on the field. You know how I feel about that.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Well,
D is not a Jalen Ford fan. I forgot all about that.
Nope. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of somebody who's done nothing. You could tell me all about what he did at Tennessee. I don't care about Tennessee. I care about San Francisco. I care about the 49ers.
You're also right about Jet. Jet is flying out and mad, flying out all angry.
He about the most ungrateful person in the world. We lined your pockets with almost $20 million. He got the nerve to say, fuck no, moving on to the next city. Don't nobody want you. Nobody's going to pick you up. You're an injury-prone player with so-called tired legs. Are you serious? Get out of here, Jet. You know what I'm saying? Get on a jet and get out of town. But either way, man, I stick with Nick Bosa as my comeback player of the year. I think it's a situation where he's going to work as hard as he possibly can to get back, and he's going to do everything that he can because he's he's pretty meticulous with his rehab.
The dude is medicine ball. I said, what?
Yeah.
Is that even
I
possible?
feel like, oh yeah. Yeah. It takes a lot of skill though. But one thing is like, I'm a little worried about the receiver room strictly based on the fact that we have, KB out here. I think he finna hit free agency.
Yeah.
I think they might unfortunately move on from KB. I hope that if he does go somewhere, somebody gives him a multi-year deal, man, and they use him. Because he's done so many things for us, and I really appreciate what he's done for us, man. He's grown as a receiver, and I think if people give him more chances, he can get over the drops that he has initially, and he can become at least like a great number 2 receiver.
He's valuable.
I don't know if KB is. Yeah,
because he knows.
Yeah, he is. But I don't know how you sign River Craycraft and how do you sign River Craycraft but not Kendrick Bourne?
Right.
Well, what is River Craycraft going to do besides be the name of a boat that somebody thought of?
But River's cheap. I got a feeling. You know what? Kendrick comes back on a 1-year contract again because he can't find anybody that's going to pay him a 2 or 3 year deal. Not this year. He could get if the normal situation, he probably could. But I think he makes it back just for that reason.
It's either that or we're going to see a revamped Jets roster with a bunch of ex-Niners on it. You got to think about that. Saleh knows everybody, and people work with Saleh. People like him. So you think about it, I'll tell you, K1 can't stay, he's going over there with Saleh. If we don't keep Ronnie B, he's going over there with Saleh. If we don't keep KB, they may look at Sam Darnold and say, all right, look, if we're stuck with this guy and we don't draft a quarterback and we go a different route, then we say, okay, you know what? It is what it is. We're going to just go ahead and start getting you some receivers. There's a kid named Kendrick Bourne. You know who he is. You know what he can do. You know, like you give him tools to work with because he had, I think his name was Robbie White or something like that. But it's a situation where Nick is going to come back and try to be better than ever. You know Solomon's walking. We're not going to re-sign him. We're trying to give as much, we're trying to figure out what we're doing in the offseason. I just hope that the offseason leads us to being able to get D4 to pass a physical so we can get rid of him. Because Parag Marante screwed up.
Oh, big time. That's just really. I think we got to pull up, though. Let's see you Friday, because I know you've been doing whatever you've been doing. So we'll look forward to that.
All right.
But good stuff as usual.
All right. All right, brother. Nothing but love to you, Ronbo. You have a good evening.
Fam. Thanks, fam.
All right.
Yeah, all right, D. Look for you later. There he is. D. And by the way, I hate when people put out-and-out lies about me on the chat. Flea Market, give me a break. I was the one who always said nothing but good things about Saleh. And before I knew I was the one who started with give him tools. So shut it. Hey, Jack.
You tell them straight, man. That's what I'm talking about.
On me on the chat sometimes. Not even. I see haters. I know they're. I paid them. But Flea Market knows I didn't say that. What the? God.
Man,
anyway.
They're all them horse meat eating ass. You know what I'm saying? I feel you on that. Listen, man, you got to take risks. You got to take risks like even people like the Rams are doing. You got Stafford. They want bowls right now. You're willing to give up a couple, first-round picks. Now, talking about first-round picks, John Lynch, from the very first time, and took his boy from Stanford, Solomon Thomas, who was a bust. Reuben Foster obviously had red flag, but he still took a chance on him. And even though your boy Jack was saying Jamal Adams, the following year, Mike McGlinchey, when your boy Jack was saying, okay, Derwin James, and that's a position you played, two guys, all-stars. No, he went with that he thought was a safe pick in Mike McGlinchey. Following year, you get Nick Bosa, but, even a goat herder in Pakistan could have picked Nick Bosa. You know what I'm saying? It was that easy. So
there was argument, though. Remember the pushback on that? There's a whole contingent that did not want Nick. How are you not going to want Nick?
But then the following year, you get rid of Defoe and pay Armstead and get Javon Kinlaw. This guy in his first round isn't the best. I hope that changes. I am a John Lynch fan, but not in the first round, man. You did bring Richard Sherman, so I'm gonna franchise Richard Sherman, and I'm gonna have Richard Sherman, Fred Warner, Nicky B, convince Verrett to sign a contract with us. So it's we're gonna go back to the Super Bowl, and I'm gonna get a guy like Joe Thuney from the Patriots as a right guard, even though I think he played left guard, patch up the O-line. And I'm going to go ahead and get Jalen Waddle, who Jack is saying this time. And all of a sudden, Ronbo, just like with Jamal Adams, you're getting buzz, even from Daniel Jeremiah. Now, all of a sudden, Jack said it yesterday, he's ranked number 6 in the top 50 of all draft prospects, Jalen Waddle. And, this guy is going to be the closest thing to Tyreek Hill. Remember I told you about Jamal Adams was going to be the next Troy Polamalu.
Yeah.
This guy's going to be the next closest thing to Tyreek Hill out there. So if he's in our offense, Jimmy G is going to be looking mighty fresh and mighty clean.
That's it. All I got to is got to get some receivers out there to gain separation quick, and that ball's out of Jimmy's hands. It's when he has to stand there and wait for guys and look around and not trust them. Most people don't understand that. Quarterback is only going to be as good as the guy at the other end of the ball. So I'm looking forward to changes. But yeah, good point, Jack. And I want to see this guy. I got to look at the film on this kid. If he's anywhere near as good, and I got to trust you now. You've had too many good picks.
Listen, I'm telling you on that one. But if I love Kyle Pitts, like I told you, but I don't see him like falling past the top 10 at all, unless we trade up and get this guy. If he falls into our lap, then hallelujah. But as far as number 12 goes, I think because of that injury, Jalen Waddle will fall to us. Now, Jaquiski Tartt, going back to the comeback player of the year for us, I think on defense, Jaquiski could do that. We all know Nicky B is going to do his thing, but Jaquiski Tartt, if we keep him, I see, he's been on the sidelines for a long time, and sometimes a man needs that. And I just think that Jaquiski has too much talent to say, oh, shit, I've been doing this wrong and that wrong. And hopefully he can figure it out and be our all-pro at that position where John Lynch keeps missing on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's my feelings on that, man. I mean, who you franchise tagging? Who you want to franchise tag?
I thought about this a couple of weeks ago. We have to make that a subject. A 49ers is going to be, do you think they'd franchise tag anybody? Because if they're going to franchise tag somebody, it's going to, of course, be Trent, right? But he doesn't have that. His contract says, you cannot franchise tag me. So he knew that was coming, right? So you don't want to do Juice because that makes no sense. I don't know who they'd franchise tag. I mean, would you just K1?
Nah, man. Well, yeah, K1's a good option. I think keep Sherman in because Sherman has a influence ability just to motivate people and keep the team as one before he slips out of our hand. And maybe he might even go back.
He may have a clause in his contract not to be franchised. You know how smart he is.
Wouldn't it be crazy if Sherman went from the Northwest and then the West and then back down south to where he's from and then joins the Rams and screws us there? So we don't want some shit like that to happen. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think he likes Rams.
Yeah, man. Fine.
I can see him with New York, though.
Yeah.
I can see him with the Jets for just 2 years. Maybe. But he wants to be the contender. Yeah. So you're right. Jack, food for thought, man.
We're gonna roll out and listen, man. Just like the GameStop vice president Jim Bell, who just resigned. We need to get Mike LaGlinchey to resign and maybe join GameStop because he can't stop nobody in the game.
Hey, man, this is all the time too. So I agree. All right, Mike will get you words, but he's got to get some technique from coaches. All right, Jack. See you later. And look, who's that? Over here. Oh, it's Rebel D. He says, I think River Crackraft has better hands and routes. The 49ers, he may be one of those special teams guys, but he must have something going on because he didn't get cut. So, Emilio.
What's happening?
Emilio, man, it's SmackDown and who in the world? There's we got so many guys hurt. I was trying to remember all of them too, because I forgot about Jalen Hurd. I would have picked Jalen Hurd actually as a comeback player. All he has to do is stay healthy because I know he can play. So Tony snuck up on me with that one. But Emilio, the obvious guys would be Nick. But what if D Ford could come back next year for reasons we didn't even know, and that dude plays the whole season? He'd have to be a candidate because no matter what he did, would make him a comeback player of the year because he was out there long enough to do it. And then you got Nick, of course. And, man, that dude is diligent. He is going to come back with a vengeance. And then there's Jimmy, who, contrary to what many people may think, he may be here. He doesn't react. But Jimmy's probably hearing all the noise. You know what that does to a man? He'll come out there now just to put on a show. I still got Jimmy as my dark horse. Not only the 49ers comeback player of the year offensively, but possibly the NFL. But Emilio, what are you thinking?
Fuck. I'm going with Nick Mullins.
Man, I got to throw a flag on Emilio on that one. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Somebody said, I feel bad about Nick's elbow. I think somebody said something yesterday. Was that Hayden? His elbow's not doing well. To the point he may not be able to play for a while. Because if it takes Tommy John surgery, that's too long and may not work.
I don't know. There's too many players. We had more than half the team was injured, so they can just pick one and see what happens. Like I said, mostly you're gonna go for the one play, the one star. And like I said, it could be Jimmy, it could be Bosa. Who else could it be? I mean, they could have gave it to Brett last year, but they could have gave it to Brett last year, but they ended up giving it to Alex Smith. So it all depends on what the player does. So like I said, it all depends. I mean, you can just come back and another player on a different team might beat him out. So like I said, it would vary. Like I said, with Bosa, he would either have to come close to getting the single sack record, or So in that case, it just really depends. Those are like really hard. You got to look at other teams also.
I meant the 49ers.
Who suffered
49ers comeback player of the year.
But for the 49ers,
I hadn't thought of that. Nick would be actually league. He'd compete with the rest of the league because he is that good no matter what, right? So if he does have a raging year.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So like I said, you go. It all depends. Like I said, Bosa would be our number one guy, but like I said, it just you got to look at what player would actually be. Let's say Jimmy, and he comes back and wins the Super Bowl. So then he's up for the comeback player of the year. So like I said, it would all depend the position and what how good they do in that position. So it all really depends. Like I say, I mean, that award does mean a lot, but it just at the end, it's just like it doesn't. Great, you came back and did your job, but
that's an individual.
To me, that
award.
kind of it's kind of like a great job. You came back, patting the back. It's a good award because it notifies what you did. You came back injured. Did what's his name? Did Garrison Hurst ever get that award? Because I know he was out for like 2 years. 2 years, and then because he had those busted up knees, and then he came back again.
And just raging. I know. And see, that's why I was going to tell Will, there are players that stay with teams for a while and teams don't give up on them. And not always
I already had, when he was naming, it was a few. Alex Smith was for one. He was on the team for 3 years.
Yeah.
And he was out for 2. So I was there was a whole bunch of players. We had Garrison Hurst. Garrison Hurst was on the team for 2 years and came back. But he said quarterback. So, I mean, you got to really nail it down. But the two off the top of my head were Garrison Hurst and Alex Smith.
Yeah.
Like I said, and then and I hear him, man. He keeps saying, "Oh, who was on to a quarterback for that long and doesn't play?" I'm like, if you just want to go just on the 49 and not just quarterback, we've had Bosa, and Bosa's only never really played a whole 4 years. He's been hurt not Bosa. Kittle. Kittle's been hurt every year he's in there. When we had Frank Gore got hurt every year. So I mean, that's just a horrible excuse. And not to knock on his on his theory, but it's just kind of dumb because players get hurt all the time. It doesn't matter who it is. It's how you come back from your injury.
Exactly. This is
it doesn't matter who it is.
I always
that's
get a
why
kick
I
out of
was like,
people
when I
getting
was
mad at
listening to
players
Will, I was
getting
like,
hurt.
I agree with him. But his theory was wrong. It's just that was just off by him because, like I said, we've had a whole bunch of players on our team before and had them and still play. We've had the first one off the top of my head.
No, this goes back. Harbaugh had guys.
It goes back further. We've got, like I said, gone further with Garrison Hurst is one. He was on the team for 2 years. Talking about they wanted to let him go, but eventually he got his job back and became the number one running back. So I mean, teams do that all the time. They keep hurt players. You know, they say they're
it's
hurt,
a
but
dangerous game. People are going to get hurt. If you're going to get rid of players because they get hurt, you're going to have a turnstile of players leaving constantly. You can't always go by that, you know, because it's a violent game.
no.
And no telling who's going down next.
So,
But you can't
it happens.
call that in advance. So we're going to run out of time.
I'm trying to think of another quarterback. It was on a different team, and he came back and he was the starter guy. I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was Ben Roethlisberger or it was somebody else, because also they were trying to get rid of him. It was hurt. But it doesn't happen before with quarterbacks. It's not like, you're hurt. Who does that? I mean, it happens because one, they're paying them so much money, they're not going to want to let him go. Two,
Sam Bradford.
If he was a star before he got hurt, but it happens all the time. You really have to really narrow it down. I can't really think of stuff off the top of my head.
If you Google it,
look down a rabbit hole. But like I said,
I know it's.
Yeah.
All right, Phil. We'll see you Friday. I'm looking for you.
All righty.
All right, Phil. Night. Hey, Ryan.
Right here, I wanted to change it to where CD data blocked. I think that's because okay, great.
Are you sure? I'm sure. Waiting for whoever this is talking. Whoever that guy is, he's talking. Is he gonna finish? Ryan. Let's go.
Okay, whenever you're ready. You're cooking, you know. Yeah. Just whenever you're ready, that's fine. And I'll just go ahead. I'll just go ahead and say, thanks. Appreciate it. All right.
Listen, Mr. Block Ice. Mr. Block Ice says, okay, Hurd and Jimmy G need to be on the field. I mean, no time for what ifs. I want to see what Jennings got. Oh, I forgot about him. He got hurt in his rookie year, hurt all year. My whole team needs to come back. Go Niners. I know. This is why, spotlighting one player for getting hurt, that's almost like prejudice against one guy, you know? Hey, Raul.
Yeah, what's up, Ronbo?
Raul, looking down our list of hospital dudes. A lot of these guys are eligible to come back for Player of the Year because they didn't put in a lot of time last year, right?
Yeah.
I was looking down through the roster. I bet there's some guys I forgot about too, or so many that you want to remember the whole list, right? Let's put Nick and Jimmy out in front just because. But
I was going to ask you. That's what I was going to ask you. Now, when you say comeback Player of the Year, do you mean is it only
coming back from injury?
George Kittle ended up coming back, you know.
Yeah, I should put George's picture up there. If I put everybody's picture up there, we'd run out of space. So I just put two guys. Yeah. George could be one. He didn't play much last year.
Yeah, he did it. I do think he will be one. I think he definitely has the potential to be a comeback Player of the Year because I'm pretty sure he's going to want to break that most receiving yards by tight end after Travis Kelce just broke his. I'm pretty sure he's going to come after that, you know. He's going to come back with a vengeance.
Right.
And what I wanted to mention was also, you know, everybody doesn't want Jimmy G. So in the draft, the most important thing is because he's going to be our quarterback next year. Now, I have nothing against Jimmy. The most important thing in the draft should be offensive line, so we could and restructure his deal, add another year onto that deal, make him look as good as possible, and that way we can get actually something good for him next year when we trade him. That's what I would do. You know, put him in the best way to succeed, make him look good, get the highest draft pick possible, and then we move up to do whatever we do. Because I really doubt we're getting a QB this year.
Yeah, I really think they're going to get one. I just don't know which round they're going to do it. And if they do get one too late, why are they getting him? He must be kind of good. Otherwise, it's a waste of pick.
Yeah, to me, it is a waste of a pick. If you don't move up in the first round, then there's no point in getting one later on. I mean, it doesn't make sense. We'll probably get one somewhere in free agency for the
or undrafted free agent. Yeah, you're right. They're probably not looking at any quarterback this year because Shannon's real picky about his quarterbacks. If he thinks none of the people in the draft in the first round are worthy, he for sure ain't going to think they're in the second and third round are worthy. So
unless one of them fall to like 8, 9. then they might move up. But if anyone thinks we're moving up to 6 and up, no,
it's not going to happen.
Not happening. Yeah, it's not happening.
Fields is going to fall.
And everybody's
Mac is going to fall. Fields and Mac are going to fall.
All right, I hope we don't get him. I'm just not impressed with him.
And me neither. Mac is, I don't know. Mac is kind of a quarterback that Kyle likes, though. He's kind of smart. He doesn't hold on to the ball.
That's true.
You know,
but I just feel like he's probably another Jimmy G. Like,
in that case, you might as well keep Jimmy, right? But
exactly.
It's going to be hard for Kyle. He got Kirk Cousins out of what round? Kyle's got his type of quarterbacks. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but I just see that if Mac Jones, I don't see him as a big upgrade over Jimmy G. So why?
No, you're getting him to play behind Jimmy.
You're shooting yourself in the foot, you know, like.
But you know what? They got Rosen, so you're right. That takes Mac Jones out of the equation. If you got Mac Jones, it would be to groom him. You're not thinking about starting him. So it's a tough call.
And I don't know. There's just so much going on. This whole offseason has been going nuts already, and it just started.
I know, right? And the cap is gonna be 180.
Defensive player.
So
yeah, dude, seriously. But what scares me, Ronbo, is you know what? We got Nick Bosa, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Fred Warner. We're gonna have to pay all these. We're worrying about money, the cap situation right now. Wait till the next 2-3 years. Oh man, we're gonna be in trouble.
Well,
I don't know what we're gonna do.
COVID will be gone, and the cap will be increased. This is the year to struggle through. Next year and year after that, you can manage those numbers most likely.
I know. I just feel like we're going to have to pay Deebo, Ayuk, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa.
It costs
and then we're going to have cap cuts
to have a winning team. That's the problem. Somebody was teasing me 2 years ago when we had lots of money. Y'all ain't going nowhere, man. You got too much money. What? And then now I know what he was talking about. If you're not capped out, chances are you're not winning.
Yeah, you ain't doing good. That's true. I hear you there.
So, yeah. So that's why when everybody's complaining about Jimmy G's salary, every winning team has a quarterback that's getting paid. That's just the bottom line. So we'll see what happens.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I don't think Jimmy G makes too much. Do I think maybe we can shave a couple million off? Yeah, maybe. But don't people that think he's gonna restructure and take off like 10 million, 8 million, 7 million? I mean, I doubt it. You guys better be happy if he takes off 5 million. Like, I don't know. I don't know what some people think he's gonna just give away half his money. It don't work like that.
He's got most of his money already anyway. They could find a way to fix it so he'd still get his money. He'd have to stay an extra year, though. Because the thing is, I don't know. They seem very confident, though, that they're going to get whomever they want to get back. John Lynch, those guys look like sweating to you? This is why when everybody starts complaining about Jimmy's salary,
but that's what they don't, but they I don't know, they don't, but
we'll see.
That's crazy.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
1 year backloaded contracts, I guess. I don't know. Anyway.
That's what I was thinking. That's why I was thinking. I was like, you know what? Maybe they might restructure Jimmy G and give him an extra year. And then that's what I'm saying. Maybe boost the O-line up. That way we can give him the best season he's had, keep him healthy, and then trade him next season.
Or if he has a good year, you don't trade him. You just keep going. But then you get that option. Raul, let's see you Friday, fam. All right?
All right, Ronbo. You guys have a good one.
You too.
All right.
And 49ers Ultimate Report reminder, Jimmy G has had 8 passes in the NFC title game because Mostert had 220 yards, 4 TDs. Why you want Jimmy G to pass more? Use it. I have said that people who mention that game paid no attention to what was going on. All they know is Kyle didn't trust Jimmy. That's number one. Mostert could have ran for 500 yards. It's because Kyle didn't trust Jimmy, and so I gave up on that argument. You can't reach that kind of mind. If you hate Jimmy like that, and the success was we're tearing that team apart on the ground, still, what is Jimmy doing? then the blinders are on. Hey, Ryan, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Oh,
Ryan.
man.
Ryan,
it's been
man.
a long time.
Oh, man, right? You know, it has been a while. I just realized I haven't talked to you in a long time. We were looking for you a minute ago. But, Ryan,
Yeah.
we were, as you know, last year, how bad things were for his 49ers with the guys in the hospital. Ryan, you know what? We got so many guys eligible for comeback player of the year as far as the 49ers roster goes. We got a couple of guys that can actually go NFL comeback player of the year. But who do you have? If you were to put some guys on that list, who would they be?
Another caller took my guy, which is Jalen Hurd.
Yeah.
But then again, you know what? In all reality, it's like, how do you give a guy comeback player of the year award when they never even played in the first place? So it's like, in a way, it's like he's ineligible.
You got to give him under contract for 3 seasons. You know what? That's a good point. I guess Jalen can't really be eligible for this, can he? But if he comes back, he will be the 49ers player of the year. Because, come on, Jalen, man, get out of preseason at least. So
I know, because he was looking like he had a huge potential. I mean, he still does. What's his name? I mean, Debo didn't play that much, so
yeah, we waited for Debo. Hurt ankle at the beginning of the season. We waited for 6 to 8 weeks or so. He came in. He played 1 game, 2 games. Back on the list on the IR, or back on the injury list. Came back. Hamstring went out. Debo throws his helmet across the field and sits down for the rest of the year. Debo, what kind of hamstrings? Oh man. So yeah, he should be eligible for comeback player because he already played 1 year and had a great year.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what else I like on defense though is obviously Nick Bosa is gonna be the most popular pick, but Ronald Blair.
Same here. I was thinking about him.
Yeah, he has a lot of upside. Now we got to get to the real meat and potatoes, which is none other than the QB position. You know, I've been going at this in my mind for a long time, just many other Niner fans have, as it relates to Jimmy G. This is the way I see it. When you look at all the greatest quarterbacks, all the quarterbacks that you can compete with year in, year out, for Lombardi trophies, such as obviously Brady, Montana, Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, etc. There's one thing that Rodgers. They all have one thing in common, which is they all have durability and availability. And in Jimmy G, he just does not have that. He's only played 1 full season in his career, and it's like this past year, I could see if it was like something major, like if he had like torn an ACL or Achilles or something like that, but it was his ankle, and I'm not demeaning the ankle, but still, it's like if you're the guy who a franchise is going to depend on to compete for Super Bowls year in and year out, you have to be able to play through that.
Well, not a high ankle sprain. Remember, Ryan, those are 2 different sprains. As a quarterback, you're not gonna be able to plant on a high ankle sprain. But go ahead.
Okay. All right. Oh well, that's fair enough. But it's like this is the way I see it. If we keep him on the roster next year, it's going to cost us tens of millions of dollars, and we're obviously going to have to sacrifice some big name players that we want to hold on to. And in addition to that, it's like there's no guarantee that he's going to stay healthy. So why risk losing all that cap space and letting players go for a player that may not even make it through the full season to go into the playoffs? This is what I had in mind. I had in mind drafting a quarterback in the first round. Some people, I looked at CBS mock draft, they had us moving up to get Trey Lance, and I don't know if you've seen his highlights, but he has Pat Mahomes potential. I'm not saying he's going to be Pat Mahomes, but what I'm saying is if you keep taking swings on those types of quarterbacks, which are the new age quarterbacks, eventually you're going to hit. So by drafting him, we automatically increase our chances of finding our dual threat, new age quarterback automatically.
Let me ask you a question right there, though. Okay, now what if he comes in like a lot of quarterbacks do, and he doesn't show much? Do you go back to the draft the following year?
No, of course not. You always got to give quarterback about 3 years, 2 to 3 years. But this is what I had in mind. Case Keenum, who's on the Cleveland Browns, I looked up his stats. He's a quarterback that went 13-3 with the Vikings a few years ago.
Right, we know.
And
you got hurry because we're going to run out of time. Go ahead.
Yeah, with Washington, he had 11 touchdowns for 5 picks with a 64% completion percentage. We would have made it to the playoffs last year with a quarterback like that. So what I'm saying is, we could, get a veteran in there along with a first-round quarterback, because those are the quarterbacks that end up, eventually hoisting Lombardi trophies, the vast majority of them. So that's what I think. I think if we did that, we could definitely
that'd be the
get
answer.
All right. Yeah. But anyway, Ronbo, I don't want to hold you up, man.
No, because we're out of time. Okay,
all
we
right.
got that. And all right, we're going to see. All right, maybe they do this.
All right.
Right, have a great night.
Hopefully.
All right.
All right, you too.
And here he comes, one of the founding members of TNT. He is Trey from VA. This is interesting. I thought Trey told somebody he wasn't calling in here no more. This is going to be special.
Finally.
Yes.
And I do mean finally.
Well, I know you. Trey's ready to let go. All right, Trey. I'm going to stand back out the way. All right, go ahead.
It has been entirely too cute and way too cuddly for too long. And, I've allowed it. We've allowed it. Shout out to my TNT brothers.
Hayden. Come get him, Hayden.
Shout out to who? Who's that? Who's that?
Your buddy.
Who's that? Shout out to production. Shout out to you, Brother Ronbo. But we're going to get to the bottom line of this matter right here, right now. It's been allowed. It's been, to go on far too long, Ronbo. Yes. But no, because there's far too many people that are watching right now that just don't know. They weren't here last year. They weren't here the year before that. And I know as soon as I mention what I'm going to mention, production is going to wave the flag and we're going to have to go. So I'm going to make it really, really quick.
No, you get all your time. You just started. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. Can I get, if you don't mind, an installment?
And now it's Tuesday Night SmackDown. We return to tradition with Let Me Holla at You.
Rombo, let me holla at you.
Oh, God.
You came at my brother Will, my TNT brother. We don't allow that. Now, TNT will take the L on Robert Saleh. We were wrong about that. People get things wrong, I will say this. When we called it in 2018, hold on, Jimmy Ward had one good season, Rombo. Stop that. He was hurt for 4 years. Stop that. Let's not even go there. Let's not. One good season. Hold on. Jimmy, all the Jimmys are good for one good season out of 4. That's ironic. I'm going to leave that alone real quick. But hold on. Wait a minute. What about Rombo? What about Trent Taylor, Rombo? Last offseason, we told you Trent Taylor should be cut, and you were on that train, weren't you?
That's good.
Speaking of the train, hold on. TNT told you that Solomon Thomas was garbage the day we drafted him. And you were on that train up until last year. That's another one you got wrong. But
wait.
Solomon Thomas.
I was on the Solomon Thomas train?
Oh, you weren't on the Solomon train, Rombo? Now you got amnesia? Okay.
Wait a minute.
How about
Does anybody remember me being on the Solomon Thomas train? I'm the one who had a fit
Everybody
the night he got
knows.
drafted. What?
Okay. You might have felt that way the night he got drafted, but last offseason you were telling me that he was going to have another good. Remember I called him an Instagram model? You remember that? You remember those days when we talked about that's in the archives, kid.
Okay, I'll admit to it. Do the fact that we're going to run out of time, and you're going to accuse me of cutting you off. All right, go ahead. All right.
No, what about Quan Alexander? We told you that was a bad contract. I told you he missed the most tackles in the league when we got him, and guess what? He was a 1-year rental for a lot of money, bad cap situation. We basically had to dump him.
Did I heavily support Quan?
When we just talk about personnel moves, you can throw out the once an occasional, Jimmy Ward having a good season, but let's be honest, Ronbo, it's a lot more hits than misses. Armstead's trash. What did he do this year? He's a contract year warrior.
I got.
What did he do after his contract year?
I got too much time to put on that. I know what happened this year, but go ahead.
Let me ask you a question, Ronbo. How long does it take to learn Kyle Shanahan's offense? 4, 5? Does Jimmy? I'm going to ask you a serious question, and this is no disrespect. Does Jimmy have a learning disability? I want to know, because why does it take 5 years to learn an offense? Here's the thing, Ronbo. No, let's be real. He's had that playbook in his hand for 4 years, since 2017, and I'm being generous with that. It's like 4.5 almost.
But you know what? Your argument's a little flawed. Jimmy's not about the playbook at these days. Jimmy's about not being on the field.
Let me tell you something, Ronbo. Didn't TNT not ask you? Here's another one we got right. Didn't TNT beg you to go get Tom Brady last year? Didn't we beg you to do that?
Yeah.
Tom wanted to come here. He begged to come here. He was at the door knocking, and we wanted to run it back with Jimmy G one more time. How'd that work out? Who was in the Super Bowl hosting the trophy, and who was in the press box watching TV?
Let me ask you this. You think Brady would have came with the injuries we had?
I 100% believe that if Brady would have came here, we would have made the playoffs.
Okay, then
because
why didn't they make the playoffs the year before with a similar wide receiver group as we had last year?
Okay, let me tell you why. And I'm glad you asked that, Ronbo, if I could just have a few more seconds. Do you know what Tom Brady did in the Super Bowl? He was up till 3 and 4 in the morning texting his wide receivers, film clips, and things of what the Kansas City Chiefs were doing. Do you think Jimmy was doing that when we played the Chiefs? No. No one's ever talked about Jimmy watching film. Let's keep it 100. No one's ever talked about Jimmy breaking down film. No, Ronbo, we're talking about another level of quarterback.
Where did you get
Have
that
you ever
information
seen
from, Trey?
Jimmy? Hold on, let's be real, Ronbo. Have you ever seen Jimmy pull his wide receivers to the side and look at the tablet with them? No. Never.
What?
I've never seen it. Have you ever seen anybody talk about Jimmy's film study habits? The reason why Tom Brady would have came here, we would have been successful, is because he's a film junkie.
Yeah,
he's a film junkie, Ronbo.
I got something to say
he's
about
a film
that,
junkie.
Trey. Who did Kyle Shanahan say takes notes too much? And in fact, he should be watching more than he's taking notes. Who was he talking about, Trey?
Oh. Hold on, the guy that you said still needs to learn the offense?
Trey,
is that the guy you said still needs to learn the offense?
But don't tell me that Jimmy G's not studious about the offense.
You said he knows to learn the offense.
That's
Ronbo.
wrong.
That's your
I didn't
argument.
say that.
You said he needs to learn the offense.
I said it takes a couple of years, and you know it's true. Matty Ice had the same problem in his second year.
I don't buy that, Ronbo. Let me tell you why I don't buy that, Ronbo.
It's
Let
true.
me ask you this.
Trey,
I just saw
it's a
rookie
fact
and
that's already
Justin
been
Herbert. Hold on,
established.
Ronbo.
It's a fact.
Ronbo, I just saw Justin Herbert with no offseason, no mini camp, no training camp, no preseason, throw 30 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. Now, everybody talks about 2019. Jimmy went 27-13. That means a rookie came in with nothing and had more touchdowns and fewer interceptions than Jimmy. Don't tell me it can't be done. Now, if you don't want to believe
Trey,
it, if you like Jimmy, if you love Jimmy,
Trey,
how so?
How hard
so?
is your offense to learn in San Diego compared to?
What do you mean?
You know darn well
the
that Kyle
coach is
Shannon's
fired.
offense
That's
is
what I'm
not a
saying,
piece
Ronbo.
of cake.
The coach is fired. He's not getting competent coaching, and he did that. He probably would have thrown for 40 touchdowns if he had competent coaching.
Okay, so everybody's offense.
The coach got fired.
Everybody's got an equal offense, and if a quarterback struggles, it's the quarterback's fault. Is that what you're saying,
Ronbo?
to me right
no,
now?
Jimmy is the only. And see, this is why I said a learning disability, because you put these. Everything has to be perfect for Jimmy. He's got it. We got to build an all Madden offensive line. Let me say something about the offensive line, just real quick, and I know we got to go. I want to debunk something because I pulled up some numbers. Did you know that Ben Roethlisberger had 2.4 seconds last year in 2019? 2020, he had 2.4 seconds to throw. Did you know that Tom Brady had 2.3 seconds to throw? And guess who had 2.5 in the 6 games that he played? Jimmy. 2.5. So this whole the offensive line is getting him hurt. Jimmy just doesn't process information quickly enough, and that's what nobody wants to talk about. Now I know we gotta go.
You know what? No.
I know we gotta go.
Here's the thing. It's just like I told somebody else a minute ago. You give me Jimmy some quality receivers straight, and we'll talk. But we have to go. You're right.
Receivers?
All right. No. I'm sorry. Rookies and second tier receivers compared to what Tom Brady had, an all-star team from God knows where.
3 for 11 in the Super Bowl in the fourth quarter. Couldn't get a first down if you saved his life. That's processing information, Ronbo.
I get it.
Let me tell you something.
Trey,
George Kittle was open for 2 of those 3 third downs. Okay,
right.
I'm just saying, if anybody looks at it, I will bet. Let's not even talk. All right, Ronbo.
All right.
I know you
We'll continue. All right, let's come back because I'm not done. Trey, I got plenty to counter. I got plenty. Let's go back. We'll talk.
We will finish this. 3 for 11 in the fourth quarter.
I get it. Brady went. How many? All right. Giving me all kind of grief. All right. Goodbye, Trey.
All right. Shout out to the haters.
All right.
Peace.
Brady went 3 for 12 in the playoff games against Rodgers. 3 INTs. There's no such thing as a perfect quarterback. Tony, come on in.
You tell him, Ronbo.
I'm telling you, such.
Ronbo.
Do it. Yeah.
Look.
Because
just continue that. When Emmanuel Sanders
he makes a mistake, there's nothing wrong. It's amplified to be a friggin' mountain. Anybody else makes a mistake, it's a no big deal. Okay, I'm back. I'm okay.
Ronbo.
Go ahead.
When Emmanuel Sanders came to the team, every time. I mean, he was getting to the hash mark. Every time he's turning around, the ball was right there.
I know. I seen it. I said quality. Give me some quality receivers. Give him at least 2 or 3. 2 would be fine. No. He's got to do it with rookies and Emmanuel Sanders. And any failures, it's his fault. Oh, God.
I think from the last Super Bowl, if we learnt something, I think it would be. I would like to structure our team that way as well. Your defensive backs, if they can nullify opposition's quarterback's time to throw, he's either going to throw. He's going to throw some interception. He's going to turn the ball over. So look what
Patrick Mahomes
Brady done to Kermit the Frog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Every commentator in the league had him as the GOAT, the best quarterback since sliced bread.
Yep.
And a 42-year-old dude comes along with a perfect team.
Yeah.
And the defensive backs, he couldn't throw. They had him covered.
Mm-hmm.
He can run around all day if he's got no one to throw to.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and he did. And if you nullify that area, you're gonna get turnovers, and turnovers are a very important part of the game because sometimes they come at crucial times, which decides the outcome of the whole game.
Yep.
So I think we're overlooking some things in our team. You know what I mean? I
definitely know what you mean. I notice everything, and there are those who only notice what they want to notice. That's why Jimmy needs to be perfect, or it's a complaint. Let Rodgers, Brady, or anybody else to have the same kind of game. You got Patrick Mahomes, Tony, 300 yards of negative running. How the hell is that not talked about? But no. Jimmy misses George Kittle. Whoa! Into the world, get him out of here. That's been blown way out of proportion. So, yeah.
And on the other side, if he hits Emmanuel Sanders, he wins the game.
And none of this conversation, none of those little flaws everybody's whining about, nobody would even be saying anything about that.
The fourth quarter would have been forgotten about. Mm. But also, the fourth quarter wasn't just Jimmy's fault. Our defense, in the second half of that fourth quarter, how did Kermit the Frog throw 20 points on our team in half of a half?
3 minutes? 5 minutes? 5 minutes. He came up with all those points. And yet, Jimmy gets all the blame? Another thing I don't understand. You got cornerbacks out there giving up huge plays. I guess it's because Jimmy's the last guy with the ball. I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll go back to Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, we said it before. How come every time Emmanuel Sanders turned around, the ball was there? As soon as he turned around, the ball's in his face. Because he could make it to the hash mark. He knew, he could get open. He could make it to the hash mark.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy was throwing the ball at him. I mean, I don't get it. I think you got to put an O-line around him. You know what I mean? So,
but any quarterback,
Brady
didn't get touched in the Super Bowl, Tony. Brady got hassled once.
And he's 42 years old. He went up against the so-called best quarterback that ever that's going to become in the future. You know what I mean? And he whooped his ass.
And look who he had playing. I got Evans. I got AB. I got that slot receiver. I got no weaknesses. I got Fournette running the ball. I got an offensive line that's making everything work here. What do I need to do? Tony, you or I could have went and won that game. They allowed Kansas City 3 lousy points. That was no big deal.
But you'd have to dissect that to put my homeboy up on a pedestal and then have Brady come along and kick his ass. You have to dissect the game. You have to tell it like it is.
That makes it more
fun. As far as our team goes, we had 32 players on the IR at one stage or another. How the hell are you going to even make it to a Super Bowl with 32 of your players on the injured reserve list at any given time? I don't care if it's Mahomes' team or Brady's team or whoever's
right? Yes.
goddamn team.
Brady's not going anywhere with all those guys injured. It's a joke. Anyway, Tony, your timing was perfect. As I never usually get really pissed, but that really set me off fire. Thanks, Tony. Jesus. All right. Tony, let me get back here Friday. I'll be looking for you, okay?
All right, brother.
All right, Tony. Have a great day.
Thanks, mate. You too.
Thank you, fam.
Watch out, there's someone sniping up there.
Who?
I see him.
Russell?
Yes, hey, what's up, Ronbo?
Russell, yeah. Russell, the night started off, we were looking at comeback players of the year as far as next season goes. Because we had a lot of guys on IR, and, some of them are going to be eligible to be players of the year if they can stay on their feet all season long. Russell, do you have any candidates that you would predict right now today are going to be comeback player of the year? And of course, you can touch on the Jimmy C. It looks like all our conversations are going to gravitate toward Jimmy in one way or the other, but go ahead.
I think I think it's going to be one of the two. I know that could be a real generic term, but it's either going to be Bosa or it's going to be Jimmy G. I heard a couple other people throw some other names out there, but I don't think that they'll have the luck without Jimmy G. Getting the throwing to him. You know what I mean? Like I give you an example, like Kittle. Unless he just goes monster with yard after the catch, which he always does. But even if he gets 1,500 yards, Jimmy G's going to be the one who threw it to him. So and he needs to get his just desserts because he's ate a lot of crow this year. So I don't know. Like the more I think we talk about it and bring up Jimmy G, that the dude's pretty good, man. Like just the record speaks for itself. As Niner fans, do we remember when we were we won 4 games or something, 3 games, and he came in the last 5 games and literally our quarterbacks couldn't do anything besides look terrible. I mean, not downing them, but just saying we looked horrible, and he came in and won 5 straight, and I was just like, that's why we all went crazy over that offseason. We're like, oh my gosh, this guy's going to be amazing. He won 5 in a row with a horrible team, and he got that big contract because they said, if we don't pay this guy right now, someone else is going to pay him because what he did was phenomenal. And he's done it since.
And Russell, here's the thing.
Good, sir.
You mentioned that. Here's the thing. 2017, we didn't have a lot of players, right? The 49ers have been building basically since 2018. And we haven't had Kyle Shanahan every year. Last year, in 2019, Kyle says, I need some wide receivers to step up. Nobody's shown me anything yet. That doesn't mean anything to the people who don't like Jimmy. It's still his fault. And that's why I said, we run the ball a lot. Kyle, immediately people, Kyle doesn't trust Jimmy. Hell, you better look again. Kyle doesn't trust his receiving group yet either. So, but nobody cares about that. It's all about Jimmy, right? The only thing I ask is people look at the whole picture. You put Jimmy on a team that's got primetime receivers, I would guarantee you success. This is why I said, let this team grow and meld. That's why Kyle hasn't booted Kenny. He's not paying attention to the media or anybody else. That's why he's not kicking Jimmy to the curb. He's building this team. They went to the Super Bowl in 2019
For sure.
for things that fell into place in a certain way. But long term, that team is still a work in progress, to be honest, especially the offense.
Okay, now going off on a tangent real quick, and it's probably like one question I have. How come we can't ever find a team that'll just be like, and I know as I'm saying this, so many people are gonna be like, that's so stupid, guy, come on, but like, why can't we ever find a group of guys who would be like, kind of like what Tom Brady did, and just say, hey, I don't need 30, 40, 50 million a year.
Yeah.
How about I'm good with $5 million? And I guess do 53 divided by whatever the cap was and be like, okay, everyone makes $3 million to come play for us, but we're going to have the best team. Like, how come you think no one can ever do anything like that, like work together that way? Like, why do we even have to pay Jimmy G 30, 40 mil or whatever,
No, that's the league. Okay, any position now, the highest – it's like Dak Prescott actually could get near 40 million because the league standard has been set, and Jerry Jones doesn't want to play him. But it doesn't have a lot to do with your talent as much as you being categorized as a franchise quarterback, right? So I'm the franchise quarterback, and it's going to be funny to see what they do with Patrick Mahomes. Now that he's set the bar completely out of most teams' reaches, Dak could actually ask for $50 million.
Oh.
So, I don't know where this is going. With every position, it's like that, though. You got the best players get paid along with that on that principle.
Well, they're just starting to get so much money. Like, oh my gosh, if we turned into like the NBA, what did they do? Like hand $120 million contracts like it's nothing? Or maybe more, I forget what, but like there's so many people that make such big dollar amounts, and don't get me wrong, like these guys put their bodies on the line. I get it, but
don't make it impossible to sign other players to go around you, and that is an issue.
Exactly.
So, that's what's going to happen. We'll see what happens with that.
No, but back to your overall question. I'm gonna go for Jimmy G, man. Like, but I sure would love to see Bosa get it too, man. I'd like to see Bosa in his first year form. That'd be pretty amazing. I just hope we could get around the whole D Ford issue.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? They're not saying anything about D. I wonder what his condition is. John already said a little while ago he's not sure if he's going to make it back next year, so I don't know what that meant. But we'll see. All right. All right, Russell. We're going to go.
Hey, no, he might surprise us. Yes, sir. You got it. Have a wonderful night, Ronbo. See you, fam.
You too. All right. Thanks, fam.
All right. Bye, sir.
Hey, bye. Sure, John, I didn't say anything about Debo, and I didn't say anything about George Kittle. Guys, don't start with the BS. Did I say anything about George? I said you got two guys there, and George plays tight end. Just can't see the forest for the goddamn trees. Hey, and big win!
What's going on, Ronbo?
Big win, I'm gonna, at some point, I'm gonna just leave the Jimmy G argument alone and just let the bull crap fly over the top of my head. And next year, big win, I already know I'm gonna get the glory. But big win, you're not a Jimmy G fan either, are you? I just realized.
No, I'm a diehard Jimmy G fan, man.
Oh, that's
I don't
right.
understand what's wrong with these people.
Big win, you're in the big truck.
You know what I'm saying?
Big. That's right. Yeah, it's funny. It's going to be funnier next year, though, Big Win. I can't wait. And
I don't understand why now when Jimmy G was winning all those games, everybody was so happy he was the best quarterback in the world. Woo, woo, woo. But the minute he gets hurt and he can't perform, now all of a sudden they want to get rid of it.
Big Win, it's worse than that,
Joe Montana was hurt. Joe Montana was hurt a few times. Did anybody want to get rid of him? No. You got to give a man a chance. You know what I'm saying? So
I definitely
do. Like that guy that came on, I might not have called in, because I've been out here in this truck getting my buck. You know what I'm saying? But
I love it to say that.
I heard you say that with Jay the other day. I was like, oh no, he gave Jay my saying. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't really had time to call in, man, because I've been out here in this snow getting my dough. But anyway,
Big Man, you just got
that guy that called in the other day talking about. That guy that called in the other day talking about trade Jimmy G and sign Nick Mullins, man, that guy must be on drugs. I don't know what's wrong with him.
That's fly
guy.
You
know what I'm saying? But they might as well get ready because Jimmy G gonna be the quarterback this year. You know what I'm saying? And my comeback player has got to be. I want to say Nick, but that's the obvious, choice. But I want to say Debo.
That's Debo's got to do something to hamstrings. You know what, Big Win? He gained a lot of weight. I guess due to inactivity. Debo, you can see he has an ideal weight where he can function and stay healthy. His rookie year, he was exactly the right size. Powerful, fast, strong, and the flexibility must have been there. So I hope he gets back.
He'll be ready. He'll be ready when he come back this year. I guarantee you. He'll be ready. He'll be down in weight. He'll be ready.
Yeah, because nobody hurt him. He hurt himself. Pulling a hamstring that wouldn't heal. That's got a lot to do with a lot of things.
But you know what? He had the same problem in college, though.
Yeah,
the same thing. His hamstring, because I guess it's all the cuts and whatever he be doing. You know what I'm saying? The stress he be putting on his hammies. It just happens. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah. So he's got to.
Anyway, Ronbo, I ain't gonna hold you up, man, because I'm driving now, so I gotta I gotta get my book, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but have a good one. You gonna be back on Friday?
Friday,
since it ain't snowing this week, so I was able to get on here. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm glad to hear that. Don't watch out there in that kind of.
I gotta get up.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I gotta get up there and get back, man.
All right. Good. Hey, you'll be all right. So just take it easy out there, Big
man. Appreciate everything you do, man. You know what I'm saying? You if you don't hear from me, I'm still listening to you.
Thanks, Big Win. I just got that because I gave away your phrase. I won't do that no more.
Yeah, don't give my phrase away, man, because I'm out here in this truck getting my buck, man. You know that, Ronbo. All right, have a good one, Ronbo. We'll holler at you later, man.
You too, fam.
See you later.
Night. Big Win. Oh, God. All right. Jesus.
Yo, what's cracking, Ronbo?
Oh, Jesus. Every night I try to start the evening with stuff that we could talk about, and it always ends up to be Jimmy G fights, man. It's so, I can't wait for next year. Oh, I can't wait. It's going to be my time. But okay.
Ronbo, we run out of ketchup. It's Jimmy G's fault.
I know. Anything that's wrong with this team, I don't care if there's 29, 30 drops. It's Jimmy G's fault. Bad pass. Okay. So let it be. We just had a running back go for over 200 yards. But what did Jimmy G do? What did he need to do? Okay. That's okay. Winning is what it is, And the other thing is, every game we won, Jimmy gets credit for maybe one or two. How do you go 13 times and didn't have a quarterback? These are things I just love to rehash, but they're useless. For those who made up their mind that Jimmy doesn't have anything to do with the 49ers winning, nothing's going to stop that. Hey, Susto, who's your comeback players of the year next year off the IR? And we have plenty of them.
All right, first things first, I got to give out my shout-out.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's good. I'd like to give a shout-out to my brother Eddie E., Chad Garrison, Chris Hansen, Josh One, Big Heek, J-Rud, Tommy H., Josh One, You know, all the homies in there for Kobe, Ray Jr. You know what I'm saying? All my homies up in here. You know what I'm saying? Like I know, like I know that there's one side versus the other. You know, like the Jimmy G, and you know, just everyone. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a Jimmy G guy myself, Ronbo.
No, I know.
You know that.
I know.
But I'm
you
not
don't
gonna sit
seem
here
to
and
come
talk
in.
about something that's already been discussed.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, I don't mind pointing out Jimmy G's injuries and things like that, but some things are just out and out wrong. And it's just to facilitate an argument that's a little shaky to begin with. So, you know, if Jimmy stays on the field, I doubt he loses. And this is my bottom line. He's already proven that. So, you know, that's why I'm saying, what was all the venom?
I think Nick Bosa is going to be our comeback player of the year. But, you know, Aaron Rodgers hasn't been hurt. Like, when Aaron Rodgers didn't get hurt, he lost the games too. You know, what's their excuse over there? You know, what was Tom Brady's excuse losing to the Giants when they were like basically undefeated? You know, 17-0, or whatever. How many games they won?
There's no
such back
thing
in 2007.
as a flawless, never make mistake quarterback.
You know what I'm saying? There's no iron team. You know, yeah. Do I say that Jimmy G makes some bad play calling? Hell yeah, he does. You know, but I blame Kyle. I blame Kyle though. You know, I'm not a Jimmy G guy, but I blame Kyle for most of the the decisions that why the fan base hates Jimmy G, because hey, you know, this is Jimmy G's team. You know, Kyle Shanahan has said that from the get-go. You know, Kyle Shanahan needs to give Jimmy G more of the hey, you know, we got to make Jimmy G be more audibles. Like, hey, call more audibles. If you see a stack coming in, like, hey, like if you see like a blitz coming in, change the play.
You know what, though? So this is the point I've been trying to make about that. You know, Ayuk just got there last year. Debo's in his second year. Kendrick Bourne is the only polished wide receiver we had. Emmanuel Sanders came in, and all of a sudden you've seen a different Jimmy G, right? These are things that some people don't take note of. They just find ways to think of to make sure that it's all his fault. You know, this is why I'm looking at this. I'm saying, have they looked at this whole situation yet? That's why I mentioned you give Jimmy another guy's no better than Emmanuel Sanders, he could go undefeated, especially with the defense that we have. So this is why.
You know, we're losing key players this year on defense. You know, that were part of the Super Bowl team. But hey,
Maybe,
you know, we got to sign the players. You know, we got to sign the players that are going to be more important to the team for us to keep and go younger on that position. You know, all I got to say is that so if we go, say if we do cut Jimmy G, right? Which I don't see it, right? Say we cut Jimmy G this year.
Yeah.
Does that mean that we're going to go quarterback in the first round?
Yeah, we have to. Well, you know what? Kyle go try to find somebody that runs his offense, which is why I was trying to tell Trey, who thinks the offense is easy to learn and anybody can come in and pick it up in 5 minutes, and Jimmy G is football challenged and he can't learn it. What?
Well, they say that Kyle Shanahan's playbook is the biggest in the NFL.
A lot of people don't know that.
Well, that's what they said on. You know, that's what John Lynch has said. You know, Kyle Shanahan's playbook is really big, and you know they call him the football guru. You know, I still believe that Kyle needs to go find his own quarterback.
Well, he will.
You know,
and
I wouldn't.
The thing is, he's going to have to train. If you don't have a Super Bowl window open, 2017-18, we were just building this team. We were just getting started, right? So now it makes sense to come in with a new quarterback. But at this point, this team is already stocked. All they need to do is stay on the field. That's all they need. They don't need new personnel all over the place. Stay upright. And nobody's going to beat them. Nobody. That would have been the case last year.
You know, now we have Ayuk and we have Deebo Samuel and we have George Kittle. And I don't know if we're going to try to go wide receiver again in the draft. You know, try to pick up a receiver in the third. Possibly try to get a steal in the draft. Because, you know, it could do it, you know. It could be done.
He won't start. Receiver.
Either we go left tackle in the first round.
Yeah, because Debo and Ayuk's team now.
Tackle?
Yeah.
Right. So does that mean that we're going to try to go left tackle in the first round because we're not going to sign Trent and try to sign a pass rusher?
If they don't sign Trent Williams,
that's
what
I see.
Maybe. It's hard to call right now, Jesus. I just don't know. It's the 49ers, you know how they keep their cards close to the chest. You don't know what they're thinking or doing most of the time. Because they're not thinking like the fans.
Right.
So, what are they thinking? I don't know.
Well, yeah, because Kyle Shanahan has to build a winning team.
Yeah.
Like,
well, he did.
It's not easy. It's not easy. When half the team is on IR, half the team is injured. It doesn't help.
The problem.
Especially.
It's just we're out of time. Let me see you. Let me see you Friday.
All right, bro. Enjoy the rest of your night, man. Shout out to Ronbo Sports, bro. I hope you have a blessed night, man.
You too. I'll be okay.
All right, bro.
I get over these things after we get through anyway. All right, fam. Have a great night.
All right, brother. You have a blessed night. Thank you for letting me on call.
Always a pleasure. All right, Jesus. We got it. Ellis. Elissa.
Ronbo.
Ellis, come on in, man. We're as usual. We have the subject tonight was who's going to be comeback player of the year from our famous IR list that contains more players than any other team in the league. So we got a lot of guys eligible for that. Although, you know what? I think we got to disqualify Jalen Hurd. Hurd needs to put in one season first. So Tony, you know what? We can't. Jalen's not eligible. Although if he comes in and does great things, I'm gonna vote for him anyway. But Ellis, what are you thinking?
You give him breakout player or something. Give him.
Yeah. You give him that though.
Yeah, maybe at a minimum. But let's see. I'll say Ronnie Blair. But is Ronnie Blair going to be ready for the beginning of the season? I can't say. If he's not going to be ready for it,
they haven't said anything about him or Weston Richburg. Both of them had setbacks. All three of them had setbacks. D Ford, I don't know what's going on with D Ford, but Richburg and Blair were supposed to come back last year, and both of them had setbacks. They didn't say what the setbacks were.
So are we okay? So are we not going to get? Are we not going to get any money for D Ford and Richburg, or is it just D Ford that is looking like we're not going to be able to really save any money on, or is it both of them?
June 1st.
If that's the case, then go ahead.
No, June 1st. If they release him on June 1st, I think it takes a little bit more from the. You know what though? That is so unfair to those players, though. I mean, it's business. I understand that, but how are they going to find a job on June 1st in this particular year? On top of that.
But D Ford gets paid no matter what. He's got like some kind of an injury.
Yeah, he's got an injury clause. He gets paid no matter what. But we can make room on the roster by just getting him off on June 1st with a substantial amount saved. Not much, but some. I think it's like $5 million. Richburg, they could save pretty much all of his except for maybe $2 million if they cut him on June 1st. Because he doesn't have that clause in his contract.
Yeah, and Zacha, I think that's a couple mil too. We'll save because I think he's supposed to be. I mean, he's just one added guy, and then what is it? We don't have to pay Jet, and then we don't have to worry. Nobody's really said much about Tevin Coleman. But,
nobody ever tried. Nobody mentions Tevin's name at all. We all
that's
assume.
some extra money too.
Yeah,
that's some extra money I think we get to save too without having to, pay him.
And he didn't have no clause.
It looks like we got Walter and we got Jeff Wilson. Most of it's already under contract. Kyle will probably get another running back or two. And have one in the chamber. Oh, and he still got Jermichael Hasty. I think he's still probably going to want to try Jermichael Hasty out again.
Yeah, he's just going to have shoulder injuries. All these guys. He's okay.
Exciting. Yeah, the collarbone or whatever. It was shoulder or collarbone?
Collarbone, as a matter of fact.
I thought he broke his collarbone. That's what it was, right?
Well, that same area. But yeah, I think he'll be back though. I mean, I think he's probably okay now.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. And I heard that there's been more, talks, with Juszczyk and the organization about trying to work out something. So hopefully they can come to an agreement with that. I know not everybody likes the Craycraft sign. I think Craycraft's got some hands, though, and he's actually got a little bit of game, And I think Kyle just sees him as he has ability, and Kyle sees just those flashes, because he wasn't that bad on the Broncos. I remember seeing Craycraft, that name, on the Broncos, catching some big passes and making some big plays.
Really?
In Denver, yeah, he did. He's talented. I'm just not. He's nothing crazy. He's nothing to be like, oh my God.
He's one of those guys. The thing is, that touchdown that I thought was a touchdown, and the referee said it wasn't. That was a good catch. He just,
he's got ability. So that shows you that he's got, a different type of ability. He's one of those guys you'd be like Craycraft, you can clown on him, but he might ball out on you. So it's kind of just, he's. I think, and I don't think he was cheap, like you said too. So that was. I'm not too upset now. If it was either him or KB, then I'd be pissed. So let's get that clear.
KB might
Hopefully
be back,
that had
though.
no interference with him signing KB.
Well, he's going to shop around, but I don't know if he's going to get any long-term deals because right now everybody's cash.
He needs one more. He needs like a big. He needs one more explosive season. I think, and KB can. Be able to come out and kind of, strut a little bit. And that'd be good for him because he deserves to get paid. He stays healthy. He doesn't get injured, man. There's a lot of these guys that we got to make sure that we think about keeping is the ones that definitely stay healthy. That's like a primary, I feel like that would be like, that's a primary thing since we're having so many issues with the injury thing all the damn time. And KB is reliable, man.
KB,
we just got to put it in his hands a little bit more so he can, that's how he's going to get better. You got to put it, you got to put him on the, and he has actually, those couple of those catches, the season before just his last one.
KB was badass
KB's done some impressive
two or
stuff.
three games.
And he came through clutch. No, that's what I'm saying. And he came through clutch for us last year, very strong, especially after the catch. He was very, strong in his points after. Yeah, you see what I mean? So he's a worthy keeper. Hopefully we can figure out this Trent thing.
Yeah.
I think we can.
I have a feeling the fan worry. None of this is going on in Santa Clara. If the 49ers were worried about signing Trent, I think we'd know about it. Something would leak out. I don't think he doesn't even seem, the dude is living out in Cali. He ain't even thinking about leaving. I don't think that's a big deal. Others might be, but not him. Okay, we're gonna go though. We'll get some more information.
Let's just hope we don't. Yeah, let's just not put all our eggs in one basket if we do end up signing Trent. Let's still try to take a crack at one of those big, offensive linemen in the draft. And, Jalen Waddle, man, I was watching his highlights. I sent it to you on IG. That boy is something else. He got a little injury, but I mean, he's explosive. So we got to get the best player though at that number. I think we got to stay dedicated to that. Hopefully we do. But brother, Ronbo Friday it is.
All right, fam. Have a good night, Alice.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you to the
right.
Rumble Sports and everybody, and shout out to the chat, the Niner Faithful. Peace.
Thanks, man. And here he comes. It's Big Win's favorite dude, Fly Guy.
Rumble.
Fly Guy. You got a lot of 49ers, more than we needed to have last year on the injury list. So a lot of them are eligible to be comeback player of the year. Fly Guy, including your boy, Nick Mullins. I don't know if he's coming back to your team or not, but who's going to be the comeback player of the year?
Just give me the flag like Emilio.
Emilio D. That's right. It's two guys, 15 yards, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Okay, let me address something right quick.
Okay.
Because everybody went crazy on the chat and on the callers when I said, start Nick Mullins. There's two scenarios. Keep Nick Mullins and keep Jimmy G. I'm going to give you the one we keep Nick Mullins. The first scenario is we cut Jimmy G, we cut Trent Williams, D. Ford, Sherman, Solomon Thomas, Coleman, and then we sign everybody as free agent. Then we have extra money to go in the free agent market.
That's true. Actually.
So with that we draft a quarterback. We draft a quarterback. So now we have our whole team in place with a quarterback behind Nick Mullins. I'm not going off winning the Super Bowl next year. I'm going off fixing the whole salary cap issue we have. We cannot sign no players.
And win the Super Bowl 2020.
We got to bring back Fred.
Yeah.
Verrett. We got to bring back some Nick Bourne, which is never get hurt. We got to bring him back. We got to bring back Juszczyk. We got to bring back all those players. Okay, if we let everybody go without the players I said, we can bring back everybody and still have some money to sign our draft picks. Okay, the scenario of keeping Jimmy G. Why would you want to draft a quarterback if you're going to keep Jimmy G, which is your franchise quarterback, right? So why would you want to draft a quarterback?
Well,
you're wasting money right there.
No, well, you train him up so he can, he can compete for the starting spot. You should, you know what? You should do that every year anyway.
You should not keep Jimmy G if you're going to draft a quarterback. Why would you want to have a quarterback getting paid almost $30 million a year? Then you're going to draft a quarterback to start behind him?
Well, the thing is, Jimmy G knows the offense, contrary to what the chat is talking about, which is totally nuts. Jimmy G knows the offense, so what he can do is let that quarterback train behind Jimmy, and as he picks it up, he can compete for it, and he can take Jimmy's job.
Because my view is, if you keep Jimmy G, you hurt the team because we cannot bring back most of the players that we need.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy G get hurt. We lost everybody. Jimmy G plus the players that we didn't sign.
And of course, he's going to get hurt. We know that for a fact. So yeah.
He'll be hurt. He'll be hurt. Trust me.
Guaranteed.
He'll be hurt.
No doubt. Vegas has already put odds on it. Jimmy G will get hurt. 9-1 odds. So yeah.
Okay. Have you heard the rumor that New England has called the 49ers
and to get Jimmy? I heard that. Heard that early today.
Okay.
Already.
And they said if Jimmy G available or any other quarterback available, they're looking at Nick Mullins. I'm telling you, they're looking at Nick Mullins. They ain't stupid.
Hey, Fly Guy, Nick has got an elbow situation going on. According to Hayden, I'm not seeing any information on it yet, though. According to Hayden, though, Nick Mullins, that elbow's serious. It's giving him some trouble.
He'd be all right. He'd be all right.
Hope so.
He'd be all right.
I like Nick.
Because other players come back from worse injury than if Jimmy G can come back with a torn ACL. I believe Nick Mullins would be fine.
But, a quarterback, he's got to have his arm though. An elbow situation.
He'd be all right.
Yeah.
I believe other team is looking at Nick because if we don't see the potential in him, other teams seen it.
Yeah.
They see it already. Because you can't blame a QB for just sitting on the bench and come in and just be on fire. And he came in and threw almost 3,000 yards, almost. 11 interception. That's like more chemistry issue with the receivers. And then he had nothing but backups on the field. Nothing but backups. No running backs.
Okay.
Come on. The guy did awesome.
Yeah. True.
Beautiful throws down the field. Not just 10 yards, down the field.
So, Fly Guy, this is good. You do agree that the wide receivers do have some responsibility in completing passing plays. Because we got people in the chat that think the wide receivers have nothing to do with how well a quarterback plays. It's all about the quarterback. They have a lot to
do with it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Wow. That I'll agree with you on that. That's the only thing.
It's all about. Don't talk about the wide receivers. It's all about Jimmy. That hater group is intensely weird. They are so. So but if you don't like a quarterback, that's what you're talking like. So that's fine.
Yeah, but the problem is, I was saying, if we keep Jimmy G, we're gonna let too many players go.
Yeah,
we cannot do that, Ronbo.
No, he is expensive, and I agree. I really wish that we didn't have.
If we're gonna keep Jimmy G, he better be the starting quarterback for the next 10 years. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, you know what? Somebody beats him out. That's fine.
You gotta be. That's why they say general manager. You gotta manage the team, manage the salary cap and the team.
Just why I love you so
much.
Not just you really are entertaining, man.
Let's try to make the playoff with Jimmy G next year, and then you cut Juszczyk, Bourne, just to keep Jimmy G, and then you didn't make the playoffs.
It makes no sense.
Don't make no
we
sense.
gotta go though. Let me see you Friday. I look forward to you. All right.
Okay.
We'll see you then.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Night, Phil. Uh-oh. And here comes Alex. Alex, get in here.
Yo, Rom.
Alex,
Man.
I'll throw the subject out there, and then, of course, you can go in the direction you want to go. But I'm looking at, with all the guys we got on the IR, many of them are eligible for Comeback Player of the Year. Do you have any favorite in that lot of $80 million worth of humanity sitting on the bench of having a chance to be a Comeback Player of the Year?
It's Bosa.
Yeah.
It's Bosa. It's Bosa all the way, man. He's going to come back and eat. I mean, that's just what he's going to do, man. He's been licking his chops for his ACL, man. He's been looking, you know, he's halfway there.
The guy's a beast.
Huh?
If you've been watching his training films, that looks like a medicine ball he's bouncing. That must be something else. I've never seen it. Bosa's bouncing that ball like a basketball. What kind of power does that take?
This guy can break the single sack record easy, Ronbo. This dude, he's probably already the best pass rusher in the NFL. Just flat out.
And that was his rookie year. He looked like that. He says to tell everybody he'll be back and be better. What?
Yep. He just got to get those sacks. He's got 80 pressures, Ronbo. He just got to clean up those sacks a little bit. Just tweak a few things and he'll be.
He learned. It's a learning process. You know, first year in the NFL, he was awesome. The second time, look out. I can't wait.
Yep.
So.
All right, so let me get my sense on Jimmy, Rombo. Let me get my little 2 cents here.
Yeah, go ahead. 4 minutes.
When we're talking quarterback, are we talking a guy that's going to win us 10 games? Are we talking about a guy that's going to give us a playoff berth? Are we talking a guy that's just going to get us our quest for 6? Or are we talking about a dynasty quarterback, Rombo? Are we talking about a guy that's going to be the guy for years to come? Is Jimmy that guy? Is he that guy? And I question his health in that, Rombo. Is he a guy that can go back to back to back years and not have to worry about health? Is he a guy that's going to take us to the promised land every year, year in, year out, after an ACL in one leg and a high ankle in the other? Are we talking dynasty with Jimmy Garoppolo? Or are we just talking about a quick little Super Bowl run?
Well, how many years do you expect him to play?
I don't know. You're the one that's saying he's, you know?
No, I think he's a good quarterback and we'll be fine. That kind of question,
hold on.
though.
I'm just asking.
No.
I'm just asking.
Sure, I'll answer it.
Do you believe,
just give me 5 seconds.
That he can,
you
do you
can't
believe
really,
he has the longevity?
It's
do you
not
believe he has the longevity for a dynasty quarterback to a dynasty team?
He's got the mental makeup to do so. No doubt about it in my mind.
Physical,
none whatsoever.
I look back. I watched a little Jimmy Tate back in New England, and he had some great games in New England, Rombo. He had some great winning drives on 3rd and long. He was moving in the pocket. He was moving around. He was throwing seams on a dart, Rombo. And I was like, where is this Jimmy? It looks like it's a complete different person, Ronbo.
The thing is, though, it's the same guy learning a new system. What you guys are saying is Kyle making quarterbacks do as he asked them to do. Did you notice there's something similar between Nick, CJ, and Jimmy? Did you notice there's some similarities when they're out in the field? That's not by accident. This is Kyle's coaching. That's what he wants.
Wait, so are you comparing Jimmy and Nick and CJ?
No. Did you hear what I said?
No,
I noticed some similarities in their style. They all sit in the pocket, and they all wait what seems like too long.
I'm not talking. I'm not talking comparing CJ to Nick or I'm talking.
Okay. Let me make it easier because I don't want to take too much of your time on your time. Alex, I'm talking about in style of play. Okay, this is which is a reflection of what Kyle's teaching. This is what I'm talking about. All right, go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, look at old Jimmy compared to this Jimmy, and how much velocity he has on the ball, how he maneuvers in the pocket. I think there's a lot of great qualities about Jimmy G. I do believe these players when they say they believe in Jimmy Garoppolo. I believe that he sat behind Tom Brady and he knows, like you were saying, the mental makeup of what it can be, or of what a Super Bowl dynasty team can be, because he saw before his own eyes. But I'm just really curious, Ronbo, if this dude can be healthy year in, year out, not have to have this conversation every other year. Oh, is Jimmy
Alex,
if
that can
he's
be
healthy?
asked about every QB in the NFL. There's no promise. It's a dangerous game.
But you have to think there's a big difference between how Jimmy was playing when he first got to us and when he was in New England to how he's
Noticed
been
it
playing
immediately
even
in the first
2019,
year.
a little bit.
In 2018, I noticed immediately when everybody was talking about Jimmy G's digressing. All I could think of is, oh God, that is stupid. Jimmy G's learning Kyle's offense. He's having to change his style for Kyle. It's not about what he wants to do. He's out there trying to do what he's told. So, yeah, he's going to look different.
Well, I'm just saying he just doesn't look like he's – you have to maneuver in the pocket. You have to escape from pressure even a little bit. I'm not saying he's immobile. I'm not saying you have to run outside the pocket every play. But a lot of times, Ronbo, he's just standing there. And that's what happened when he got his high ankle. He was just standing there. And I know, it was a pressure play. And I know those happen. I know it happens to everybody. But he's got to help himself, Ronbo, because he's just standing there. And he's going to get hurt if he does that. And I'm just worried that, our seasons are going to waste. Our talent's going to go to waste here. And because Kittle's not – his play style,
Okay,
I don't think
Alex,
he's going to have –
Alex, let's bring another quarterback over. Okay,
Eagles already
now,
hurt.
let me ask you this.
It would be the best receiver in the
Alex,
NFL.
I understand, but I want to ask because we're running out of time. Real quick, you bring another quarterback in. Do you think Kyle's going to let him do whatever he pleases?
Well, I think it depends on who he brings in. If it's a rookie, no. If it's a Deshaun Watson or an Aaron Rodgers,
You think he's going to give him free
let
reign?
it rip.
Brady
Yeah,
probably
for
wanted
sure.
the same thing, and I got a feeling. Go ahead.
It's give and take.
All right.
That's my 2 cents, Ronbo.
All right,
I'm not
all
trying
right,
to
Alex.
I just wonder about his longevity.
No, I understand.
That's
This will all be
the point.
cleared
I'm not
up
trying to
next season, but we'll
Yeah.
see. All right. I'll see you next
see.
time. Night.
All right, Ronbo.
All right, fam.
Later.
Night. Yeah, I can't wait till next season. Everybody, people, Jimmy G and everybody else that works with Kyle, anybody think that somebody's going to come in and tell Kyle what to do? Well, they got to have a rude awakening. Sherry, come on in, man.
What's up, Ronbo?
Shay, I was looking at who's going to be the comeback player of the year, but as usual, it's turned into a Jimmy fest. So start wherever you want. You already know the subject matter, so go ahead, jump on in there.
Well, I mean, I just have some concerning statistics, Ronbo. I could fit all I got to say in. Just hear me out on this stuff, all right? We're talking just about Jimmy, okay? Garoppolo is ranked 31st and 32nd. So he's ranked second to the last
in the league.
and dead last
Yeah.
in intended air yards, right? Just hear me out. But has single-handedly the 7th worst interception ratio
In history.
when throwing the ball, but he's not pushing the ball downfield. So it's kind of like, and yes, listen, we've all seen it. The 13 interceptions he had 2019, I would say about he deserves about 8 of them. The other 5 were off tip passes. 1 hit KB, the other hit Emmanuel Sanders. Right. But when all the excuses that people are making for Jimmy G, some are warranted, some aren't. The question comes to this, Ronbo. If we are in a Super Bowl window, right? Now, let's say hypothetically, Ronbo, the way everybody defends Jimmy G, do you think with the injuries that we had, if Jimmy stayed healthy, do you think we get into the playoffs?
If Jimmy stays healthy? Last year?
If Jimmy stays healthy.
Yeah.
Last year, yes.
Yeah. We only missed it by what, 2 games?
I would say so. I would think we would go 9-7 and 10-6.
Yeah.
I think we would. So, but that would, to me, Jimmy being out and us not making playoffs in a Super Bowl window time period, people are out here saying, "Oh, I don't understand the scrutiny. Oh, why is people coming out of the blue for attacking Jimmy?" This isn't coming out of the blue, guys.
I know. I don't know where that came from. You guys been complaining about Jimmy ever since beginning of 2019 season. So
right.
I don't know where that came
This has been
from.
happening for over years and years. And I honestly think that if Jimmy ends up staying healthy enough and played those games and we snuck into the playoffs, I don't think half of the fan base would be as torn apart as they are now. But because Jimmy did get injured, we didn't make playoffs in a Super Bowl window, and now we're losing even more players than we're possibly going to retain because of contract. People are asking, well, why is the guy who, is our leader or how they say, everybody says I back my QB. Why aren't we restructuring the contract yet? But my point is, I think Jimmy's the most professional quarterback I've ever seen. I think him and Alex Smith, after all the trade rumors, after all the controversy they go through, I'll give him that. Jimmy still comes in, he still says hi to Kyle and John, and he still puts his best foot forward, and he's like, this is still my team. But, Ronbo, the point being at hand is if Jimmy is willing to restructure his contract, why haven't Kyle and John restructured the deal yet? Do they not believe in extending him more years?
This is why I keep
what
saying.
What is the problem on a salary cap year where we're going to be losing so many key pieces, and then yes, okay, if we bring in guys, but we're going to bring in guys worse than the guys that we lost. That's not how you build a Super Bowl roster.
Shay,
this man needs to be making somewhere between 18, 19 million, and then backload the contract from years on.
No, Shay, my only question on this is, does it seem the 49ers are worried? They're taking juice out, trying to talk. I think that the fan jumping to conclusions is premature. I think we should probably calm it down. If the 49ers don't have it under control, that's one thing. But do you know for sure that it's all about Jimmy's salary? I don't. This is the thing.
Ronbo, you're right. Absolutely. I think I agree with that part. Do we know, like you said, because John Lynch seems really laid back while everybody else is panicking and stuff like that.
I agree bad.
But when I just look, they're panicking like this is DEFCON 5. But I'm just looking at the salary cap numbers and seeing the guy making $27 million when we're going to be getting $180 in cap space, and I'm just like, well, when are we going to can we shave off $7 million maybe? Can we shave off $5 million to bring somebody back? I'm not talking about make him the 20th paid QB in the league, making 18, 19. But I'm talking can we make 22?
I understand.
Can we make
I understand.
He
needs a slash. But listen, Shay, why did John say anything over 175 is gravy? I think could we wait until free agency period maybe before we start to lose it? Because this panic and screaming about Jimmy's contract may be premature. They may know what they're doing. Maybe.
That could be true, Ronbo. I'm just thinking of all the free agencies that guys will want to get paid for. Listen, nobody's going to take a home field deal for us. Especially in California. California has one of the highest tax rates. You could go play. You could get the same weather in Florida, but there is no sales tax. There's no 10% tax. You get all your money that you sign your contract for. So that's why I feel like the 49ers and all the California teams, the Rams, all these other teams are handicapped because we have to pay more to get the free agents that we want because of, the California tax law itself. And I'm just sitting here thinking, you're right, Ronbo. I don't know what Parag and John Lynch have up their sleeve. We might be able to see something where they do some gymnastics and they are able to sign Trent Barrett and bring in even more free agents than we thought. But when people are panicking and they're like, well, damn, the guy was injured. He hasn't played. He's played one full year with us. Why is he still making the $27 million? When people look at that, they're like, and we call him the leader.
And also, couple that fact with most of the people that are crying about that don't like him in the first place. So this is the thing. So I think if we wait till free agency time and see what they do, I think maybe it might not be as seriously bad as some people think. And I suggest at least wait until then. When I see the front office look like they're in panic mode, or you see things where they're going to cut Jimmy and get rid of his contract or whatever, maybe that would be the time to start having this argument. I don't know. Just kind of seems more normal. We'll see.
Yeah, like you said, Ronbo, we got what, 2 weeks until free agency? 3. About 20 days, right?
Yeah. So, know, rather than us hollering and screaming, why don't we wait and see if the 49ers got this all figured out instead of headhunting on Jimmy? That's all I'm saying. So, but anyway.
But real quick before we go, I know we leave with Ronbo, but if we lose Trent Williams, Ronbo, what would you be saying?
Well, if we do, then I would probably complain along with everybody else. But I doubt the 49ers look like they're worried about signing Trent Williams. We'll see.
Let's hope so. All right, Ronbo. Shout out to my TNT brothers, Ronbo. Shout out to you. Shout out to
you guys are a special group, boy. Yeah. Boy. All right. Guys, have a good night.
It's tough, Ronbo. You out here fighting, Ronbo. You fight for your life. I love it. That's why we love the show. It's interesting.
All right,
It's
fam.
always the best, Ronbo. But
Yeah,
God
I love
bless
you guys,
brothers.
and you know it.
Have a
All
good
right.
night, sir.
Talk to you later. Hey, Darius.
How you doing, Ronbo? How's your
Darius,
day been?
it's like going out for a jog. It's really invigorating to argue about Jimmy G.
Yeah.
I could get a workout book, the Jimmy G workout book. All right, first get yourself a channel where you can get phone calls in and have people call in. 7 out of 10 are not going to like Jimmy G, and of course, if you like G, then you're going to get mad too. So it becomes a big joke.
Yeah, it's like every single show, or regardless of the topic, it's gonna always end up to Jimmy G.
Yeah.
You could be talking about, the Niners are making a new stadium. Oh, it's because Jimmy G played bad. Oh, they don't like what he's doing in Santa Clara. They move it, you know what I'm saying? So regardless of the topic, Jimmy G is always going to be brought up. He could be gone from the team and all, and for all I know.
Yeah.
People
He
still be
sucked.
talking about Jimmy G.
He sucks. He's always sucked. He gets paid too much money. We need to cut him, get rid of his salary, get some people in here that can help. I just can't. I can't roll with that. So anyway.
I would actually want Jimmy G to fix his contract a little bit, but not too much because it's not going to happen. Maybe I don't know, maybe 3, 4, 5 million less. I think that's reasonable. But for him to go, I don't know, take I think anything above 4 million less in his contract per year would be ridiculous. He wouldn't do that. I think, I don't really think you need 10 more million in cap space. Obviously, that'd be really nice, but it doesn't make any sense. I mean, you still want to play him in the mid 20s. He's getting paid 28, 27 right now. Even if you can move even if you can move that down to a 25 or a 24, I think that'd be really good. Opens up 3, 4 million in cap space, gives you more flexibility. But because then you can, if you really do want to re-sign Trent, you can re-sign Trent, and you can also re-sign K1 and Kyle. So that gives you the mobility in the cap space. And for his play, I don't need to back up his play. The trend right now in the NFL for quarterback is having a mobile quarterback, right? Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, the list goes on and on. But let's not act like Tom Brady just didn't win a Super Bowl this year by not moving around, right? He still sat in that pocket. Look at Aaron Rodgers. Now, I know Aaron Rodgers can move a little bit, but do you really consider Aaron Rodgers a mobile quarterback? No, Aaron Rodgers sits in the pocket.
In fact,
so you don't need to have a mobile quarterback
style.
to be successful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Goes when he first came. Yeah. No, I agree.
So, yeah, I mean, as long as you give Jimmy more than 1 second to throw a football, and with for his entire time in San Fran, except for the back half of last year when he had Emmanuel Sanders, he was really, you can say George Kittle did this, but George Kittle's a tight end, right? A receiver is always going to be better than a tight end in terms of running routes, speed, and all that. You get the ball in Kittle's hand, yes, Kittle will break through and run, but Kittle's not a route runner, right? Kittle's not a speedster. So having a number one receiver is different from having a number one tight end. And I don't think some people realize that.
No.
Kittle's great, don't get me wrong, but he's not a receiver. If you have a number one receiver, it is significantly different from having a number one tight end. So last year when he had Emmanuel Sanders, he was much more comfortable. And with development of Ayuk, I'm going to be really excited to see what we can do next year. And shout out Ayuk too. Ayuk, I saw Ayuk posted on his Instagram. What would he say? He said something like, my son can be whatever he wants to be in life, except a shitty Seahawks fan. Put a smile on my face.
Did he say that? Is that on Instagram? I gotta go check that out. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's on it. I think. Let me see. He posted it.
Yeah.
Right here. It's 8 hours ago. Son, you can be whatever you want to be in this life, besides a shitty Hawks fan.
So he's gonna be good, and that's the kind of receiver we've needed for a while. We just now got, but no.
Right.
Right. This is why I'm going to be laughing next year as Ayuk and Debo take over the team and start to do a lot of things that good wide receivers do, and Jimmy goes to them often and all the time with confidence. People don't understand that concept. They think all the failings that have gone on had nothing to do with the receivers. It was all Jimmy's fault. And like you mentioned, Emmanuel Sanders, why did Jimmy's game elevate to the level it did with Emmanuel Sanders? That was not by coincidence. So this is why I laugh at the BS hate on Jimmy.
Yeah, because even with Debo, right? Would you really consider Debo like a traditional receiver? Because I wouldn't,
No.
right? Debo's not like it. So even then, right now, he really has only one true wide receiver, Brandon Ayuk.
But Debo's
right.
But Debo caught on
Debo,
fire
listen,
in the second half of the season. He's good for what he does. You can still get the ball to him. Jimmy will trust him all day.
I'm not saying Debo's bad or anything. I'm just saying Debo. You wouldn't consider Debo to be, I don't think Debo will ever in his career be a true receiver number one because of, he doesn't really have like a deep threat ability or like a route running ability. He's great. He can make contested catches and
physical.
Break
Bolden.
tackles, but he's not right. He's not like. I think already Ayuk is a better receiver in some aspects than Debo because of his release off the line, his double moves and all that stuff. But so I think, and with Ayuk getting better and Jimmy, I think next year's going to be a pretty good year for Jimmy Garoppolo, and a lot of people. There's not going to be that much talk anymore for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, it is. I'm going to be talking because normally I let these things go.
Ronbo, it's going to be so bad
go.
for these Jimmy haters that if he throws like 3 touchdowns and 1 interception, they'll be coming for his neck, Ronbo. I'm telling you right now.
I know. There, you got to go. Hey, let's see you Friday. All right.
All right, Ronbo. You have a great day, man.
Yeah, man. Have a great night. Thanks. Big Al.
Yo.
Big Al, it's a Jimmy G beatdown night. It started out by looking for the guy that's going to come off the IR next year to be comeback player of the year. But any direction you want to go with that is fine. Big Al, what are you thinking? Don't worry about it. I remember you last time. You're not a Jimmy fan either.
No, I'm not.
It's fine. It's fine.
And look, we all, it's about the team. We're all Niner fans. People are trying to convince each other. I think you're not on the fence. Either you like them or you don't. So
true. Jesus is on the fence. He doesn't dislike him. He doesn't really like him a lot, but he doesn't hate him. Jesus is one of there's 2 or 3 like that. John is like that.
I mean, I won't be upset if we go with Jimmy for the upcoming season, but I'm not going to sit up here and say I wouldn't like an upgrade as long as it doesn't demolish the whole team. I think even us that do. Like for you, I know you like Jimmy, but you'd be honest. You take Aaron Rodgers, you take Deshaun Watson, just because they're better quarterbacks.
And then you say, well, for sure. You know what? I don't want to get into it with people about Deshaun. I like the way he plays, but every system in the NFL ain't for him. And for Kyle, Kyle believes in the system to the point where it's arrogant. So you're not going to. Right. Deshaun's not going to play Kyle's game, and Kyle ain't going to put up with it if he does it.
Right. Well, if what you're saying is true, Kyle might have to humble himself one day.
Maybe, but I doubt it's right now.
He may have to adjust the way that he looks at quarterbacks. But I'm gonna say one thing about Jimmy, and I'll leave it alone. One thing the year prior to us going to the Super Bowl. You had Cortland Sutton. You had some other wide receivers, and a lot of people were saying, "Oh, well, we don't need an elite wide receiver. We don't need a number one Shanahan system because he can get anybody open. He can get anybody." That was said by a lot of people.
I remember that.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. We can say, "Oh, it's the receivers. Oh, it's the offensive line." So we'll see. our
He's got his
defense
receivers
is
now,
not
though.
going to. He's got them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's not going to be
It took
there
3
'cause
years, but we got
Debo.
him.
Yeah. And Brandon Ayuk, that boy's gonna be a problem. He's an elite. He's an elite wide receiver. That was a rookie out there doing the thing. He's elite. So we'll see. It's like 90% sure, 98% sure Jimmy's gonna be the guy. So we'll see. It's actually making it more exciting because that anticipation is building up to see how it's gonna go. So I hope I'm not a Jimmy G fan, but I don't hope he gets injured and all that. I want to see him out there. And hopefully it goes well. But I don't have a comeback. I'll let you go after this. I want to see what Jalen Hurd, man. Come on, dude. He's
All
like
of
a
us
little
do.
atomic
But
bomb,
what if
just chilling.
you know how good he'd be by now had he been around for the last 2 years? Holy my God! You talk about man, he's got all the tools. So I'm gonna find out.
I want to see him, man. I want to see him, man. I want to see him. And lastly, we got to keep Trent, and we got to sign my Fairfield kinfolk. We got to sign Jason Verrett, man. That's all I got, Rob.
Is he from Fairfield? That's all right.
Yeah, he's from Fairfield. Yeah.
You know what? One thing we don't have to worry about this year. Everybody's worried about players losing. The entire NFL. I think the confidence in Santa Clara comes from the fact that there's not that many teams that can afford to sign anybody. You got a lot of teams that have to get rid of people. So that's why I think that's part of why Lynch is confident. There's only 2 or 3 teams that have cap, and some of them ain't going nowhere. Nobody wants to go to Jacksonville. The Jets, maybe. Indy's got some. No, Indy doesn't have any money now. So, if I'm Lynch and Shanahan, I'm sitting there thinking, let me go ahead and look around. We're going to give them this deal because we know nobody's going to beat this, and let's just sit back and wait. And I bet that works. We'll see. They got to sign Trent Williams, though. So
I agree. Yeah. All right, Ronbo, when you back? Friday?
Back Friday.
All right, man.
All right,
I'll try to get in there, man. God bless everybody. Niners.
Back at you, Al. Looking forward to hearing from you. All right. Have a good night.
All right. Later.
And as usual, right around bedtime, Hayden, all of his 12 years, gets in here. Hayden!
Hey, Ronbo.
Hayden, it was... I hope you didn't hear a bunch of adults getting a little crazy here tonight, as Ronbo had a time with TNT tonight. TNT is fun stuff, though. They do get me pumped up. I love going back at them. But we never do that. But Ed, you stay at them all the time, though.
You know what's funny, though? Like, they were... I'm not going to say who because I don't want to embarrass them, but a lot of... Well, not one. Well, a few people on TNT were agreeing with Ray Jr. It's a lot of people in the chat that are like Jimmy G, like that are not Jimmy G haters, and I wonder why. I just don't.
No.
They were like agreeing about like how Jimmy G was good, and it was just the O-line, and I'm not going to say who it was.
No,
Putting it
there's
out there.
actually TNT just never really did like Jimmy. Their arguments are flawed and can be picked apart in so many levels. But they're going to stick
And
to
I'm not saying,
it because
like-
they can't go away from it now. It's too late. But if Jimmy G comes up next year and stays healthy, are they going to eat crow by the big slice? But go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not saying like I like Jimmy a lot. He just needs to get his injury problem figured out, and then once he could do that, then I think, because if he gets injured again, I'm not going to be agreeing with TNT, but I'm just not going to be. I want him out.
No, a lot of people are going to be upset because that would be 2 years in a row, and that's too much. Actually, he's already had too many years out. So yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah, he
Or at least
definitely
it
needs
has
to
been.
figure that out, and he needs to be more consistent in his game because he'll play good, play bad, play good, play bad, which is but.
It could be rough. This team has been together for a while now. I really think that time in together can build strength in that department. But that's just me. But I think that this team's been together now long enough where they should have these little situations like that ironed out. We're going to find out this year, provided they can stop dropping like flies. So.
Yeah, what do you think it is? Do you think it's just like because we already broke the Levi's curse, so that's not a thing anymore. What do you think it is with the injuries? Because Ronbo, like that's not normal.
I know.
Your whole offensive line, besides Trent Williams, gets injured all the time.
Well, not only
Even
that.
Trent Williams got hurt.
Well, yeah.
Trent Williams got hurt.
George
Jimmy got hurt. Nick Mullins got hurt.
Everybody got hurt. George
Beathard Beathard got smacked around the Dolphins game. He almost got hurt. He would have got hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
a
team issue, but your quarterback, you need to keep him out there. But it is a team issue. Jimmy's not the only one who gets hurt. He gets hurt for too long periods of time, but that's our biggest problem. I don't like being in that stadium to begin with. It's been nothing but trouble ever since the 49ers moved there. We've had injuries. We've had injury years every year. We got away in 2019.
Why did they move there? Why did they get out of Candlestick?
Candlestick, I don't know. There was a zoning issue going on there, and they wanted to they couldn't move into San Francisco because of the price, from what I understand. But China Basin, how'd the Warriors get that? Anyway, it's Santa Clara. Jed made a deal with somebody out there. I have a feeling it's more to do with Jed than anything. So.
Yeah,
and now Jed's fighting with those people every year. Good. He serves them right. God, no shade. That's not a good stadium.
Why do you think? And you were funny. You were hilarious saying, "Well, by the source of Hayden, I think Nick Mullins' injury is pretty. Yeah, it's pretty major." Well, how Kyle was making it sound like he said he's probably not gonna come back for. He thought it was going to be career ending, so I don't know. I was just going off of what Kyle thinks.
Yeah, they did. Well, Lynch said that too. I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, Lynch said. And Dee Ford, man, he's just trying to act like he's all working out and tough to pass the physical, bro. You ain't gonna.
Have you seen? That's right. You were telling about his video the other day, huh?
That irritates me. Because he's like, oh, well, I passed the physical. I'm on the team. I get paid. Oh, yay. No, bro, I don't want you to get paid. Here's why. You're not going to play. You're going to play week 1 after the first snap. Ooh, my back. My back for 17 weeks now. It's going to be 17, though.
No, it started off with a calf injury, remember? Then it moved into his back, and then it went to his neck. So,
I don't know, I don't know how, it went from he'll come back in a week to, he'll come back in 3 weeks to, another week. Oh, shoot, we're in, week 8. He's not coming back. Oh, wait, he'll come back later in the season. It's just going to be it got pretty bad. Week 16 comes around, it's like, where's Dee Ford? Is he on the team anymore? Did he get cut?
It's D's. We'll see what happens to him. He may surprise us. Maybe
Same
he's
with
okay
Sherman.
now.
What the heck happened to that guy? That guy came back after 10 weeks. It was a calf
the
injury.
entire season with a calf injury. Yet Jimmy G, who tried to play in a high ankle sprain, gets more grief. That's fine. You know what? Hey, we got to go though. I'll see you Friday. Don't let up on TNT. Keep working them.
No,
I'd be in there with you,
funny.
But anyway. Well, let's see you Friday. All right.
All right. See you, TNT.
Jade's going to bed. Night, Jade. Johnny V.
Ronbo, what's up, brother?
Johnny, I'm just sitting here doing Jimmy's bidding. Boy, I'm loving it though, because I know in the end who's going to win this. Trey tried to come in and tell me where I was wrong. I don't ever remember saying anything bad about Robert Saleh. And Solomon Thomas, I think revisionist memory, I've always worried about Solomon Thomas. I was wishing he could get better and hoping I'd see something better. But as far as jumping up and down saying Solomon T is this and that, Trey, that is as wrong as 2 left shoes. That has never happened. Supported him, yes. But that's it. But anyway, John, I was looking for comeback player of the year and got more Jimmy G venom. So whatever you want to talk about.
It's impossible, Ronbo. I mean, you can't say one thing without getting the other, right? I mean, no matter what you say, it's in regards to this, that, and the other thing, and then somehow Jimmy gets dragged into it. I mean, pending that this gentleman gets back as a Niner, I think Jason Verrett, man. I think he's going to be my comeback player because I think that we saw a small sample of his comeback, and I think it's gonna be pretty awesome. So I want to see just a full season of just ass kicking from Jason Verrett.
John, is he eligible though?
But
he would have to play better than he did this year. He'd have to really bust ass to be better than he was last year. I hope he does.
I mean, he did well. I just feel like we're making a big fuss about Jimmy and Trent, but we got a lot of moving parts. We got 10 new coaches. That's scary. We got free agency. Yeah, we got 10 new coaches, and okay, cool. Like D'Amico Ryans and McDaniel, they're moving up in the organization. But I mean, it's different when you're not the head honcho of the position. You know what I mean? Like now, like everything that they learned and everything they sat behind is going to be put to the test. So we got 10 new coaches, Ronbo. We don't have a secondary room. We don't have a left tackle. We're just in shambles right now. We're not one player away from a damn thing.
Yeah.
So all this chaos that says, we're going to make a run. We got to do this, that, and the other thing. Well, if we make one move, we take 10 steps back. So if we go for Watson, we take 10 steps back, right? So I don't know, Rumble. The whole Jimmy thing, man. I mean, I've always supported Jimmy, man, and I know his weaknesses are, but we all got weaknesses. Everybody's got a weakness, man. Even in your profession, you got a weakness. But we gotta hold the receivers accountable for maybe not making their breaks and their routes in time and timing, Rombo. I think when you guys were asking why is everyone, I think timing is the whole thing that's screwing up the entire team.
And you're
timing.
so right. You're so right. It takes time to get that
timing.
down. It is. That was one of the things I was talking about. And this is why Kyle was complaining in 2019, I wish I could find somebody to step up. I've been looking at my wide receiver room for somebody to step up. And so he ends up with Kendrick, and they went and got Emmanuel Sanders. Well, John, if I'm not right about the receivers, why in the hell did he go get Emmanuel Sanders and give up a second and third round pick? That's a lot to pay. So how serious was that problem? It was damned serious. And so when Emmanuel Sanders gets here, all of a sudden Jimmy G looks different. But not many people noticed that. Well, I should say a lot of us did. But his detractors paid that no mind. And Debo was just coming into his own.
I mean, you're right.
What
You're right.
are you guys looking at?
I truly believe that they didn't anticipate Emmanuel Sanders leaving as soon as he did.
And that shot him in the foot.
I think that I really think that shit the bed for us. And Robo, that's true because those out routes, those fade routes, those comebacks, all of those were timing. An experienced wide receiver such as himself, knows exactly how to finish those off.
How to take care of your quarterback. Yeah.
When Jimmy was standing there like a statue, it's almost like he's looking for the timing. Like if you're not going to be there, man, like I can't wait for you to get open. So I'm going to put the ball where it should be.
And Nick Mullins did that too. I said, you know why? Because the damn receiver is supposed to make his break and cut. But
you got to make your break in your route.
Yes, but Jimmy would rather sit there and get gobbled up. I wish he would have thrown it away, though, John. But there were times when he should have got rid of the ball. Don't sit there and wait for your receiver. And then he stops trusting him, and now you got a big mess going on. But to the untrained eye, and I call you guys that because you don't know what you're talking about, to the observers that are watching that don't understand that concept, it's Jimmy's fault. I said, you know what? That's not what happened.
Ronbo, I mean, if you don't get open, the quarterback has to put the ball where it's supposed to be. And sometimes you don't have the open receiver. So now you go to your progressions, and maybe Jimmy's slower at that than most. But
and he's not moving around. So, if you maybe in practice John, my only thing is maybe in practice they get it right, because that's why Jimmy would stand there and wait for that. Because if I'm Jimmy, I'm already rolling on that pocket because I can already see whoever it is. I can already see screwed up.
If Kyle's worried about another ACL, on a $100 million contract, I mean, then maybe he's just saying, please, just stay there. I have this designed. Someone will be open. Problem is, Jimmy's standing there now without a veteran, without Emmanuel Sanders. I think the field looked different to Jimmy, man, at the beginning of the season. We said he looked like he was seeing ghosts. I think he just didn't see familiarity and chemistry. I don't think he
they didn't have time to build it
to get the
in the offseason anyway, right? I mean, I'm wishing they did. But if we have a normal season this year.
And when they did?
Yeah, they can iron those things out.
When they did, Debo broke something. Richie James snapped his wrist off. Jimmy was never right. Well, what the hell happened to them? What the hell? They get the shit kicked out of them? What happened? What happened, guys? I mean,
awful season.
I don't know, Ronbo. It's
from game one.
So many things. Game one.
Cardinals. They look like ass. And everybody thinks it was just Jimmy. No, that whole team looked like ass.
No, the whole team looked like ass. We did. We looked like ass. We looked like ass for the better part of the season. Whoever thinks that Nick Mullins should be our quarterback, Jesus, I was hiding behind the goddamn curtains every time I threw the ball. I didn't want to see where it went, Ronbo. I was petrified. Nick Mullins is not the answer. We're not starting the season with Nick Mullins.
But you know what?
We're just not doing it.
John, it's going to be a normal
elbow,
season.
No elbow.
We're going to get the work in we need. Guys, maybe we need preseason to stay tough because, I mean, I understand Jimmy get hurt, but what's everybody doing joining him? Okay? Whoa. $80 million sitting on the bench? There's only 40 more. How many more $1 million for the cap hit? My God. So we'll see what happens.
I got to wonder what Jed York was thinking sitting there at the table drinking coffee,
he left.
thinking to himself.
Remember he left?
Why
he left in the middle of the game.
Team on IR. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He left in the middle of the game. I'm just thinking, what are you thinking when your whole team is just shit out of luck? Like, are you wondering, like, where did we go wrong here? Do we need a priest? What do we need here
an exorcist.
In Santa Clara, Like, what do we need out here, man? We need sage. We need a priest. We need a witch doctor. We need.
John,
it's creepy because really, Ronbo, those things came down on us like a bag of bricks, man.
It's what are the odds of it happening 2 years in a row? It's going to be okay next year, John. It's going to be okay. So we got to think that way.
Yes,
no
sir.
more injuries. None. We'll be fine.
I think, Ronbo. I think when you have a show, every time I see the notification, I know where it's going. We're going to touch base a little bit on the topic of the show,
and go right
then
after
it's just
Jimmy.
going to go downhill.
I'm getting used to it. Normally I don't get mad. I got mad tonight. Every other time I get pissed, but I'll be fine. I enjoy it, the going back and forth, because I'm going to make my points. I do the same thing on Twitter. But it's all fine. It's okay. It's all
makes
part
for
of
great entertainment.
It's part
I mean,
of fandom.
Regardless of how many nerve pills you need, Ronbo and Trey, these guys respect you, man. They really do. I think they have
I love them back, but we're not going to
it
agree on
makes for
Jimmy.
a great show.
Thanks, John.
No one's going to agree on everything, man. I mean, there would be no fun if everybody agreed, Ronbo.
Ain't that the truth? All right, Johnny. Let's see you Friday. Hope you get back in here. I'll be looking for you.
My brother, always a pleasure, Ronbo. Thank you,
Thanks,
man. I appreciate you. I love the show. I love you, man.
Thanks, fam.
I appreciate
all back
everything
at
you do for us.
Thanks, John.
You got it, my man. Good night. Take care.
Good night, John. That said, it's like Thanksgiving Day in a lot of homes. Relatives coming in from all over the place. And there's going to be those 2 or 3 relatives that come in wearing the wrong ball cap, like Raiders, Chiefs, Vikings. I got all this in my family. There's going to be an argument, loud talking, and an auntie or somebody's going to come in. Why don't y'all take that outside, all that damn noise? Hey, talk to him. The guy, Raider fans, all of them. That's your cousin. I don't care. If I had it my way, I would not even know this dude. I'm leaving now. So these are politics and sports. They do. Made for bad bedfellows. Oh, religion gets in there too, doesn't it? Now, I'll be ready for that ass on Friday. Let's go. I'll see you then. Unless something breaks between now and tomorrow, I'll be ready.